Hey, what's going on, folks? How you doing? This is James from My Take on Reality. I just finished watching Sister Wives. Oh man, I tell you what, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Not as much as I would like in some areas, but we're definitely gonna have some things to talk about. Let me know that you guys can see me and hear me. Just click that one so that I know that I'm present and I'm being counted. I see some ones populating. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Uh uh I'm not sure what that means. James, you two lives pinned. Um, for those who don't know, maybe this is what you're referring to. I went live earlier today. Those lives will be the live will be up if you want to rewatch it. It's available. We were talking about power dynamic and things of that nature, especially with regard to what's going on Sister Wives currently, and is the I thought it would be an interesting kind of dovetail into what happened tonight with regard to I want to say her name is Aurora. I think that's right. Or Brianna. I think it's Aurora. Her talking about being baptized into the new church. So we had to start there. Uh, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about. And then, of course, per usual, we're going to open up the floor to give you guys the opportunity to step forward and give your perspective. I know I was watching some of the, while I was watching the show, I noticed in the chat box that Carmel Cuties has said she had some things she wanted to get off her chest. So I'll bring you to the stage first, Carmel Cuties. You got my word on if you click in. I'll bring you up because apparently she got a lot to say. She has some things that she want to get off her chest. Um, so we could definitely do that. I'm not going to run too late as far as tonight is concerned. I'll go for we're going to shoot for about 2 hours, just because, like I said, I was on earlier, and I want to make sure that I'm not abusing anybody's time. I don't want to take advantage of folks' time. Some folks love like the 5 hour chats. Other folks are like, "Come on, man, what are we doing?" So I'm trying to give everybody what they want. I think 2 hours is a nice little balance for a show. We're going, what I plan on doing, and I was really thinking about it earlier today, or at least I'll say even before today. What I'd really like to do is start doing more lives more consistently throughout the week. Not necessarily switching out some of the pre-recorded tapes, because I do like some of those doing those, but there's something about going live that I really like, you know, having a conversation, getting a reaction time, and having some interaction with you guys. I kind of like that. That's fun for me. So, go where your strengths are. Like I think that this might be where the channel is headed. So we shall see. There's nothing in concrete yet, nothing in stone. We're still growing as a channel, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, the like button. Make sure you register with all that. We have 90 folks 90 folks watching so far. So we'll let the room load up a little bit before we get started. Uh, if you want to leave then let the rest of us will stay, all right? Just leave the door open and leave the light on, right? uh oh wait, shit. I have two lives open. Oh, let me check that because one of them is not, because I put in one earlier to register it and it didn't register. So I had to create a new one. Oh shit. Oh man. Oh wow. This is so weird. Oh, it's so weird. I want to write something here. There is a tech. Thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna close this one down. Oh, see, I can't get y'all break. This is the part. This is the downside to doing this is the downside of doing lives or whatever. Because if it's a tape show, like I've had a couple tape shows where I was trying to do the tape show and it just didn't take, and nobody ever knew about it. Live stuff, mistakes, they all get recorded. So, but thank you so much for that. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Give me the little pulling the coattail. I appreciate that. Uh let's see, Darlene Hall, appreciate you. $2 super chat. James, why do you have two lives open now? Thank you. That's what I was trying to fix. Thanks for pulling the coattail on that. I didn't understand what they meant. Like, what are you guys talking about? Two lives pinned. Okay, I see what they're saying. I see what you're talking about. Thank you so much. As many over there, I swear. Yeah, and that is a weird thing. I went over and I left a message. It looked like it was a duplicate of the same chat though, so I'm not sure what the hell is going on. It's just such a weird thing. I don't know. YouTube is a strange, strange bird. A strange, strange bird. All right, that other one is gone now. Michelle Woods, 4.99 super chat. What's going on, Michelle? How you doing? It seemed like Christine was talking faster and rambling more than usual, especially at the plot spot. I'm probably butchering the name already. No, I think that's a fair play. There's some things that I want to make a point of. I talked about this earlier in my first live, and I think I'm going to go a little more into my perspective as far as how I think the show is being butchered. Like I think the show is actually being decapitated at this point. Like I think they're killing the show, with the coverage and some of the storylines, and just in fairness. And I think that Michelle is making a good point. So we can talk about like a little bit of the plots, story arc. I think part of it was kind of interesting to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I think that part of it was kind of like, whoa, this is cold blooded. Like there's parts of it, man. It hurt my feelings. I know Cody's watching that cussing his ass off because some of it was hurting my feelings. Pardon my French, but it is what it is. But let me give you guys Darlene and Michelle, give you guys a little something, something. Thank you so much for the super chats. Appreciate you. Michelle Woods. Hopefully everything is good. It's my homie. Let's see. Yeah, things are going crazy. I'll say this. Let me I kind of opened up my earlier live with this same sentiment. So, but it was actually reinforced with tonight's episode. Okay. And what I had said earlier, and I really believe this. Like I think that there's a lot of things that go into making these kinds of stories and these storylines, you know, uh, and some of it, oh shit, oh damn it. Um, hopefully you guys are back. Is everybody in the house now? Are we all in one under one roof? I'm sorry, I just got a message from my chat saying that everybody was disconnected. Can you guys hear me and see me? Give me a one in the chat just to make sure that I can be heard and I can be seen. Okay, thank you so much, Jenny P. I appreciate it. Because I'm not sure what the heck is going on right now. This I'm talking crap on Sister Wives, and apparently Puddle Monkey was like, "Not today, sucker. Not today. Not on my watch, player." Thank you guys for popping on ones and then let me know that I can be seen and heard. And I didn't just disconnect the live inadvertently, which would be pretty much standard fare. Like that would be pretty much, normal beast at this moment. But yeah, what I was saying with regard to a lot of this stuff that's going on the show, I think that, you know what? I want to pose it to you guys first. I'm going to give my opinion, but I'm going to pose it to you guys. Uh, are you satisfied with the season so far? Are you guys happy with the way things are running on as far as the season, the progress in the season? Are you guys content with the information that's being passed on? I'm curious. But just from my perspective as a person who's watching the show, here's where I'm at. I think that there's so much information has been passed off, and we're getting caught up to where they are now. So that's a plus. But while we're doing that, there's so much information that's kind of seeded into like these space filler, time waster episodes. So you have a lot of information that, honestly doesn't really mean anything. And the sad part is that when they were doing this, when they were doing this, they were putting it out like, we have this thing going on and we want to let you guys in on all the stuff that we have happening, but we don't really want to tell you anything because we're trying to protect our privacy. And unfortunately, that protection of privacy, protection of private lives, protection of what's going on in your situation works if you are a movie star or television star in a produced or scripted show. It doesn't work in reality TV because, frankly, this is going to be kind of a jerk thing to say, but it's true. You guys aren't stars. You aren't famous because of something you've done. You aren't famous because of accomplishment. You're famous because you've displayed an alternative lifestyle. People thought it was interesting, and maybe through your personality that people were drawn to, they watched you on TV. But it's not like you went to a movie and you saw Helen Hunt or Helen Mirren or, somebody of that caliber, doing performing a role on television, and you say, wow, that is incredible how they transform themselves from who they are into this other person. And I was engrossed with that other person, and I'm attracted to that other person for whatever reason, intellectually, emotionally, sexually, whatever the case may be. I'm attracted to that person and I want to know more about that person. But this is a character that this person plays on TV. This person doesn't really exist. And the way it kind of comes off with the Brown family right now, they're trying to play it off as though these are characters that I'm playing on TV. These storylines are storylines that we've developed for television to entertain you. And the problem with that mentality is that nobody is tuning in to watch you guys try to script out a show. The biggest problem that Robin and Cody have right now is the fact that they're trying to script out a show. You guys are trying to script your storyline. You're trying to tell us stuff that you feel is acceptable. Now I'm going like, I can feel it heating up a little bit. I can feel it heating. I'm sorry, but I'm about to say some things. I think that at the end of the day, that's part of the reason why Cody and Robin's storyline is so damn lame. Like the whole thing with their daughter getting baptized, let's be honest. Robin's daughter being baptized, that storyline, Mary's storyline about the her employee who retired at the bed and breakfast and is no longer there. Some of the things that is happening with Mary and Janelle, or not Mary and Janelle, Christine and Janelle, these are all things that honestly I don't really give a shit about because there's no tie-in for me. There's no emotional tie-in. If you're watching a movie and you while you're watching a movie, they roll some character out, and then all of a sudden they say this character has this terrible disease, this terrible condition. They grew up and they had this horrible thing happen to them, and you just see the character on the screen for 2 seconds, and then they roll the character out, never to be spoke of again. You don't give a shit about that character. There's no emotional investment in that character's story. What makes a good storyline? Even when you watch a villain, a person who is a villain. I've talked about this before on the channel. You watch people who are villains in a storyline and you root for the villain. What are examples of that? Breaking Bad. Walter White is a horrible freaking person. He's a terrible person. But you wind up rooting for him, hoping he doesn't get caught, hoping he can sidestep his brother-in-law who's also working with the DEA, hoping he doesn't get caught. You watch Dexter Morgan. Dexter is a damn serial chomper. He's a serial person. He's insane. He's dispatching people. And we're rooting for this person. Oh, I hope he don't get caught. Oh, he almost got caught that time. Sons of Anarchy, Jax Teller. Charlie, I forget his name. Charlie Hunnam is Jax Teller. Oh, he's so good looking and he's so suave and he's handling his business. He's a terrible person. He's done terrible things on that show. I ride motorcycles and I go places and you'll see guys walking around with Sons of Anarchy cuts on, with the jackets, the Sons of Anarchy jackets. It's not even a real motorcycle club. You guys are gonna get killed. But we turn these people into heroes. Hannibal Lecter, oh, he's so interesting, terrible person. Twilight for the kids, back in the day, little kids. But Twilight, vampires and werewolves. Oh, they're so interesting. They're so just to sit around being sexy, just sexy dripping off of them all day. That's what they do all eternity. Right? You follow them, so therefore you get emotionally invested in them because you hear their stories, you hear their struggles, you see what's going on with them, and because of that tie, that's what makes the storyline interesting. With these storylines, honestly, when people will say, "I love the story between Christine and David," what do you know about David? What do you know about David and Christine's relationship? Yeah, we watched them get married. We watched them go out on a date. We hear Christine talk about how much she loves him and how much she's attracted to him. But really, what do you know about him? We don't watch him on camera. We don't watch their story unfold. We see them go out and acquire stuff. That's not a storyline. That's lifestyles of the rich and fucking famous. That's not a reality show storyline. Sorry, not sorry. Janelle, God love her. She put in the work. She was doing her thing. The storyline between her suffering in that financial part, the reason why that hit the way it did is because we watched this woman put herself through all kinds of hoops, jumping through all kinds of financial hoops, understanding that this family came from very modest, very poor beginnings. Then all of a sudden, they turn themselves into something, to somebody. They sitting there have potentially millions of dollars of assets that they've had flow through the Brown family, only to discover that this woman is being screwed out of her money and her investments. That's the storyline. It's interesting because we started with her. We watched her sacrifice. We heard how she invested in the family, how she had put herself aside, how she put her kids in second and third place behind the family. She was paying bills for the family, working a full-time job and making enough money where she could take care of not only her family, but other people's family. And when she couldn't take care of both her family and other people's families, her kids and other people's kids, she's still making sacrifices for other people's kids, and her kids went without. And to watch her go through years and years and years of that, only to turn around in season 18, look at the camera and say, I've done all this and I realize I have nothing. That's why that moment was so powerful. That's why that moment was so powerful. I could look at a TV screen, I could hear somebody talk, and I could hear them say their situation, and I could sympathize with them. But the thing that makes the story as powerful as it is when you have a connection to the character. When we talk about Mary, with her situation, they don't really cover Mary. They only covered Mary as far as up to and including the part where she was interacting with Cody, and Cody would say he doesn't want her. That's really what we know about Mary. We didn't talk about the bed and breakfast at all. They might have showed the bed and breakfast every once in a while as like a distraction of Mary driving down to Parowan to sit with her mom or do something with her mom. But even then, her mom might only be on the episode for like 10 minutes on one season of an episode. You understand what I mean? So you didn't really get into what was going on, what the struggles were at the bed and breakfast, and how she was doing it. When her mom became ill and she could no longer do the bed and breakfast, all of a sudden is, oh, I brought my friend in Jen, but we didn't know or understand what the struggles were with Jen. That's why her relationship with Jen is a little off kilter as far as the show is concerned. But it does have a redeeming factor in the sense that she gets a lot more traction on social media, where Jen and Mary sit and talk and have conversations together. Jen, for the most part, the reason why so many people are attracted to Jen's character isn't because of what she displays on the show, if I'm going to be completely honest. People like Jen because she's the person on the show who is starting to say the things that many of us have been saying for years. That's why people like Jen, because she essentially agrees with us, and she's saying to Mary's face the things that we would all be saying to Mary's face if we were sitting in a room with her. And it's nothing else. I don't know anything about Jen. I know people who say they love Jen and they really like Jen, and I can dig that. I like some of the things she talks about and some of the things she does, but I don't really know Jen. I don't know anything about Jen. I say the same thing about David. If Christine is happy with David, God bless her, because that's her husband, that's her man, and she is, whether she's happy with him or not is all that's important. But as far as the show is concerned, I don't know this man. I don't know nothing about him. I mean, there's some things like we could talk about, like the bar scene. I do want to get into that. But we could talk about the bar scene and some things that I picked up from the way he approached that activity. But we don't know anything about David and how he really is and how he acts. And of course, the shit show in chief of Robin and Cody. What have they talked about? They've been on this show for season after season, and they haven't talked about jack shit on this show. The only thing Robin and Cody are good for at this point is talking about how everybody is jealous of them. And let me just be honest right now, and pardon my French. You might want to put your headphones on for this last little part that I'm going to talk about as far as my feelings, as far as the status of the show. Because French will be spoke. We're about to go bilingual for a little bit. Not all show, but just for this part. When you say, you dusty motherfuckers, let's start there. When you say that these women are jealous of you and they're only trying to talk about you and they need to keep your name up out their mouth when they having these conversations and worry about their business and stop worrying about your relationship. Motherfucker, I'm not worried about your relationship. Let me say this for them. Like, I will speak as though I was in that situation. I'm not worried about your relationship with your person. What I'm worried about is my money. My money. You're sitting there on my money. You're living in my money. You have the audacity to sit there and criticize somebody and pretend as though I'm chasing after you and I'm curious about you when I'm calling about my money. When I'm sitting there trying to figure out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to make this right. You're going to sit there and pretend like everybody's sweating you because you're so important. Your life is so fancy and fantastic. That's not what people are worried about. What these ladies are worried about is getting their money back. You don't get to rob them and then sit around and talk about how everybody's jealous of the nice stuff you have when the reason why you have that nice stuff is because of them and off of their back. You sorry, not sorry. And this is part of the reason I don't give a shit how many times, like Cody like the little girl talking about, oh, Cody, I want you to come in there and baptize me and put me in the waters of the justice so that way I can raise up pure. Cody's ass hit that water, that shit is going to boil. Because there's something wrong with this dude. There's something wrong with you. If you could rip your family off like that, there's something fucking wrong with you. Period. And I know some folks don't like to cuss, but damn it, there's a point when you gotta just let it fly. because this is ridiculous. How you gonna sit up there and criticize me and talk crap about me, and the life that you live is only provided because of the things, the ways in which I provided the life for you, and you have the audacity to sit there and criticize me about what I've given to you and act as though you've done it yourself. All of a sudden, this fucking heifer is confused about who did what. Oh, I was giving to the family the whole time. Bitch, you all you did was give me bills. Pardon my French. I didn't mean to call her a bitch. Got me tripping. All you did was bring in bills. You brought in bills as far as kids. You brought in bills as far as money that you owe Jack's husband. You brought in bills on bills on bills, and you turn around, and now all of a sudden it's, oh, I don't understand why they so upset. Why they mad about the money? I don't understand. That's why they mad about the money. And to be honest with you, I'm not even animated because of what happened with Janelle and Mary and Christine, even though that was horrible. That's not just what has me animated. What also has me animated is the fact that these idiots can look in the camera and assume that we just don't get it. We don't understand what's going on. Oh, I'm telling you, because I said it is true. Stop it. And this is what I'm saying. Like, as far as I'm trying to create these storylines, you're trying to create these storylines, and it flies in the face of logic. It flies in the face of everything that we watch. And unless you're going to sit there, if you're going to say that everything we've seen so far is all a lie, then that demonstrates only two things. One, you're a liar. It establishes that you're a liar. And that two, I can't trust you. So if you're saying that what happened and what we watched isn't true, and we shouldn't trust that, then I shouldn't trust what you're saying now either. Or everything we watch is true, and you're a liar because you're trying to change the situation and circumstances now to suit your own narrative. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize for calling old girl a B, but that's ridiculous. That shit is great. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy because you like and it's not just a sister wife situation. There's a lot of folks out there who invest into their relationships as they should. This is what makes them good partners. And they're being good people, good partners. They're doing everything that they should be doing to make these relationships work. And they get punished because they're good people. They get destroyed financially, emotionally, physically, and everything else because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. If you're there with a partner, who doesn't want that partner who's going to back the play? 100%. Oh, you trying to go to law school? And you need, okay, all right, what do you need from me? What do you need me to do? I can't work and study. I need to focus 100% on law school so I can do it. Well, you know what you need to do? You need to go ahead and you need to focus on your studies. And I'm going to work a double shift. I'm going to work two jobs to help you get through. And then they do that thing. They make that sacrifice for their partner. Then all of a sudden their partner turns around, graduates law school or med school, and turns around, looks at their former partner, because they'd be former at that time, and say, oh, you didn't do nothing for me. I'm the one who built this practice. I'm the one who built this firm. You didn't contribute anything. You was working that little penny ante bullshit ass 9-to-5 job, and I'm out here making money moves. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. These stories are the pinnacle of why people were watching this show from the beginning. There's some people who watch the show because they were curious about polygamy. There's some people who watch the show because they were tying this into a young woman coming into a family, usurping the positions of the previous wife or wives in this particular instance, taking the family finances, and leaving these women destitute. This wasn't a television show informing people about alternative lifestyles. For some people, this was a damn bibliography. This was a biography of their life. this is a this is an entry for the bibliography and a biography of their life. This is just a retelling of their story. That's why they connected. There's some people in the audience who connect to this story. There are people in the audience, when you listen to people who say they connect with Mary, a lot of times that's why they connect with Mary, because they've been in a situation where they were the first wife, the first spouse, the first person, and somebody came along and took their spot. And that's not everybody. I'm just saying that that's part of some of the group that is a big fan of Mary. Some of the people who are fans of Christine and Janelle, same thing. And then you have this person who did this despicable thing turn around and say that she deserved to do this despicable thing and received the benefits of doing this despicable thing. And that, my dear Robin, is why nobody likes your ass. That's 100% why nobody likes you. That's why I don't like you. I'm not even gonna be. Normally I try to be even keel, and I have been trying. I've tried as best I could to be fair with Robin and give her a shot. Right? I gave her a shot, and now I'm just gonna call it what it is, and that's where I'm at. So there it is. um, we'll go through some of the chat. I know you guys are anxious to get on. Some of y'all probably gonna cuss my ass out, which is fine. But yeah, that whole thing, like the way that they're doing the show, it looks like they're kind of gonna pick it up for the second half of the season. And I watching the preview, my mouth was like, what the shit? Like, so the whole time. So it looks like for the second part of the season, we're gonna get into it. And hopefully they're going to do a tell-all. I think they're going to do a mid-season tell-all, which would be awesome, because I want Mary, and as well as Janelle and Christine, not so much, but Mary and Janelle, I think they deserve to have a tell-all after they've had the opportunity to watch the first part of this season. I think they deserve to have the opportunity to respond to some of the things that Cody was saying, because the way it came off to me, it looked like Mary and Janelle would come in and they would give their confessionals, and Cody would come in later and he would hear what these ladies said about him or about the situation first. Then he would come back and say his part about it. And I think that that's not, like, I think that it doesn't serve the audience well, and it doesn't serve the other cast members to have that stand that way. So I'm hoping that we get two tell-alls. And what I also hope is that for this next tell-all, I'm pulling for you, Suki. I hope they cut you loose, like as far as the producers, and let you do what you do. I want Suki to redeem herself. I want her to come in there guns blazing. Sorry, not sorry. All right. So when we talk about like tonight's episode, we're gonna get into it for a little bit, chop it up, chop it out, and then we're gonna open up the phone lines so you guys can get rolling. So I'm only gonna take about 15 minutes to talk about some of the stuff. Then I'm gonna let you guys have the balance of the time. Okay. So so here we go. So we open up with Janelle moving. Everything is cool. I'm not gonna run through all of the stuff that happened on the show. I'm just gonna talk about some of the things that, like, some of the bigger things that I noticed. Now, the first thing I think that we got to talk about is who is that? Is it Aurora or Brianna? I gotta look that up now. Brown. Okay, yeah, I gotta look it up now, because now I'm just like, okay, it's Aurora. All right. Okay, so it's Aurora who went to the church. And this is part of the problem too. Now all of a sudden I'm supposed to care about Aurora going to church, or going to I'm supposed to care about what she does. I haven't seen anything with them. Robin has hit those kids back the entire time. And maybe I'm not saying that she should have rolled them out for the show. Like, I'm not saying that at all. Like, I'm not a big proponent of that, because I think that these kind of shows can ruin a child in a childhood. But if you're going to tell a story about them, we have to know more about them than just, this is Robin's kid and we should care that she's all of a sudden finding religion. Like, it would be more compelling. Like, if she was having like if you're going to do the religion story, or the story arc of religion, it really would help if she had like a some kind of backstory, like she was strung out, she was running wild and going crazy. she was in the parties and banging it out down at the abandoned hospital with the soccer team or something. You know what I mean? Like something. Then all of a sudden she's turning her life around and this is her redemption story. But if, as far as I know, she just stay in the house. She doesn't do anything. So you got a home, what do you call it? They used to call them like a homebody. You got a homebody who all of a sudden wants to start going to church. It's not really a story. Like, really, this what we doing? This what we doing, TLC? Yeah, she wants to go to church and get baptized. I didn't like the fact, and this is part of the reason why it would be understandable that a parent would want to have some input in the religious direction that their children are taking. Like, you want to have some kind of input. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily a weird thing. What makes it weird is because we know so little about Aurora. And then when we start seeing Aurora, everything they're trying to do, they're trying to walk her through things like she's a little kid. Okay, if you're 14, 15 years old and you start taking an interest in a church, and all of a sudden the church or the preacher man wants you coming by the church because he wants to baptize you and spend time with you and give you, confessions and counseling, private counseling. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We need to have a conversation. Okay. But when you're 23, 24 years old and you feel committed enough to a church that you want to get baptized, you're talking about getting baptized. Why is she sitting there crying and scared because she's saying she wants to go to church? I want to go to church and I want to get baptized. You would act like she came in there and said, look, I want to pop the basement open and start cooking up, so cooking up, bring around the Rosie nose candy. I want to go down there and start, doing some things, making some moves. I watched the episode of Scarface. Now I feel driven to do some things. Talking about Breaking Bad. I want to break bad. Then that would be a conversation where I can see her sitting there scared to have the conversation. Oh, I just want to let you know the police are coming. Like, then you scared, you ready to start crying. But I want to go to church and I'm thinking about getting baptized. Mom already authorized you to go to church, which was weird. But then she goes to church, she gets involved. Now she says she wants to join the church, and that becomes a big conversation question. And that just becomes like, for me, it just seems like you guys are searching for a conversation. You're searching for some kind of conflict that you can have to justify having this episode and having the people in your house filming. It's safe for you to, Aurora's a terrible person because she wants to get baptized. No scandals here. If that's the worst you got, then y'all need to come up off the show. You're killing your own careers. And it was also weird to me that all of a sudden it was acceptable. I don't know about you doing it. Why do you want to be part of this church? I don't know, Aurora. I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea. Well, Dad, I want you to baptize me, Cody. What? You want me to come into church and baptize you? Really? Now, I feel this is a worthy endeavor. Like, all of a sudden, it's justified because he get to go in there half drowned ass, right? Instead of the preacher man, because it revolves around Cody. And this is where so many people say, "Well, that's because he's a narcissist." Easy answer. It's about him. Yeah, it's perfect now. I mean, of course. Why are we down at the church now? Do I get to say anything? Do they celebrate me? Will they genuflect to me when I walk into the church? Well, they call me the Lord and Savior of the Mormon religion because I'm there. What, maybe I can give the preacher man some counseling as far as his belief system, and I'll grade his knowledge on the good book. So I mean that part was weird. Then we moved into and like I'll just to close that out. I did want to say one more thing. The way they're coming off on the show with Robin's kids is crazy disturbing. It's not cute. They're trying to make it like it's a cute scenario. This shit is not cute. It's very disturbing. I look at that and I'm like, I have problems with this situation. And it's not even a thing where I could say, like I said, if it was a normal situation where kids will seek their parents' wisdom and advice and experience and say, hey, what about this church? Or what are your thoughts on, me becoming this type of faith or whatever? That's positive. That's what parents should do. That's what parents, that's my job to help navigate these types of decisions. But the way they're doing it, and because I don't know anything about their previous relationship or how they interact with each other, and this is the first time I'm really seeing them deal with each other on any type of level, it comes off creepy as hell. It comes off creepy as hell. I'm standing there with a red flag the whole time. I feel like I'm watching a soccer game and dudes out there with metal cleats sliding into people's shins. I'm just throwing red flags everywhere. Soccer reference. Just red flags just flying the whole time. So that's crazy. Yeah, I talked about like the piss poor storytelling. The one thing that I did, let me go through and do this poll. I was kind of curious what this poll was saying. So I'll pop the chat out. All right. So with the poll, uh, are you satisfied with the season so far? 70% of you said no. So that's a resounding hell to the no. Okay. TLC, get it together. Like, I want to see everybody. I'm gonna close that poll out because I have another question I want to ask you guys. I want to see you win, TLC. I want to see Christine, Janelle, and Mary win. Part of me, I don't know about. If I said I want to see Robin and Cody win, that would be a lie, and I'm not big on lying. So I'm gonna stop there. It would be polite for me to say that, but I'm not gonna lie. So because they've done too much. Like your characters at this point, as far as I'm concerned, unless there's like a major story arc shift, or your redemption, your possibility for a redemption arc is like less than zero. This seems like it would be a cruel injustice for there to be a redemption arc at this point for Robin and Cody. Just to be honest, like, so much stuff would have to happen. They would have to literally go through the crucible. They would have to lose everything. They would have to reflect on how they treated people, not the stuff they lost, because I think that's where it would be. If they lost everything and they sat there and said, "Oh, my life is terrible because I lost everything, and oh, I don't deserve this." That's where I think they would be, but I don't think that would help them, and that wouldn't repair the issue. I want them in a position where they look on their lives, they reflect on their lives, and they recognize what they did wrong to these people, and they try to make it right. But at the point they're in now, even if they tried to make it right, I don't think that they have the skill, the the dexterity. I don't think they have the character to be able to sit down and do what's necessary to justify this situation. So you just go, like, at this point, they just gonna have to take the L. That's kind of where I'm at. I will be getting to super chats in a moment. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going and going. But I will be getting to the super chats. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and my work. I like to say that now. Thanks for supporting my work. Because a lot of this is work now. It's getting heavy. But yeah, I just like, so I want to see more from this show. Like, and I want to see more as far as, if you're going to show us your lives, don't just show us like the highlight reel. We get enough of that. Like, to be honest with you, this is what they used to do back in the day when reality shows first started. Yeah, back in the day before there was social media. That's all social media is now. If that's what you want to do, shut the show down and do Instagram. Buying a new place, got a new man, living the best life. Man's not the plan. Oh, doing it all with my new beau, going on vacations with my boo, relationship goals. Like, that's what that is for. Like, that's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitter, that's, or X, whatever the fuck. That's what all that is. Meta, that's what that is. Okay. when you watch a reality show, you want to see some semblance of reality. And in reality, there's good and there's bad. Anybody who lives life understands that life is not a life is not easy. Life is not for the weak. Okay? Life is not for the weak. You'll be up 1 minute in life, and it feels like sometimes when you live in this life, it feels like you get put up just high enough so life can get a nice clean shot at your ass when it put its foot square your behind. That's that's where life is. Like, so you're always in that, like, oh, things going too good, yo, I'm getting a little nervous, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Got my dream job, well, awesome relationship. Oh, damn, something about to happen. Not even to be like too much of a pessimist, but that's reality. And so when you're watching this reality, all of a sudden everybody's doing awesome, and all they want to talk about is how great they're doing, and they don't want to talk about anything real. And you want to be safe. If you're gonna play it safe, you're gonna sit on the bench, and your show is gonna get canceled, point blank. That's just where I'm at with it. The question I wanted to ask you guys, and then I'm going to get into super chats while I'm doing the giving you guys the opportunity to answer this next poll. All right, I'm going to have to craft it as we go, so you guys are going to see it in real time. The question I had was something that appeared on the show with regard to the drinking scene. Well, one, we'll go through part of it. Christine, she gets together with Truly and David, and they riding Janelle down from Arizona over to North Carolina. And part of the way, they go to a place called damn it, I forgot the name of the place. Lots something, where basically they have a storage bin in the middle of nowhere. And in this storage bin, you could leave like little trinkets or whatever to show like you're moving on to a different stage in your life. Christine, they open up the thing and there's like a bunch of stories and like trinkets that are left. There's a mannequin head in there that looked just like Cody. Very disturbing. Hey, I was like, oh damn, they done got him. But they done figured out about that money. But there was like Christine, she goes in, she has like the dream catcher that she had in Arizona. She's like, I'm going to turn into streaming because even though I had the dreams and we was dreaming in the dream and we woke up from the dream and it turned into a nightmare. So we put the dream catcher in there and I'm living my dream life right now with my husband who has happened to be here. Right. And then of course there's Janelle. Janelle, gangster shit, boy. Janelle came in with that gangster shit. She had that dusty ass piece of jewelry that Cody gave her from sister wife's closet, the tree, the original tree that came out, and they tried to make it a product line. It was a product launch. That's what that episode really was. It was a product launch because all the pieces that Cody supposedly crafted for his wives were all available on sister wife's closet, right? So it would have been crazy if Robin designed it. Like, I know Cody took credit for it, but it was weird to me that Cody didn't design anything else. Like, he never designed another piece of jewelry after that. So wouldn't it be crazy if Robin designed all the wives' jewelry, including her own? That shit would be nuts. But anyway, let me ask that question. Do you think Robin designed the sister wives jewelry? That Cody gave. Well, I'll just say the jewelry. We'll go yes or no. Do you guys think Robin designed that jewelry? I think she might have designed everybody's jewelry. And that's why Christine got like a moon or some shit, and Janelle got a tree, and I forget what Mary received. Oh, she received something to say unity or something like that, faithfulness or loyalty. And of course, Robin, you received the fiery phoenix that rises from the ashes, the bird that was downtrodden. And all of a sudden, you rise in your glory, aflame like a phoenix, a fiery phoenix. Like, she had the best story. Like, so I'm kind of curious now. I'm going to let that run for a little bit. Some people saying, yeah, 72% so far saying, yeah, she did it. It just occurred to me. That's why I like the lives, because it's just in real time. I was like, wait a minute. It's weird to me that all of a sudden Cody, like, she was in charge of all the designs for Sister Wives Closet, but Cody was technically the one who designed the first piece of jewelry. Little crazy. Got shut down. Shut down. Let me go out and come back into that. Yeah, but that does make sense. Okay, so all right, so we have folks responding to that, and they're saying, yeah, it's so this is pretty much crushing it. 138 people voted. It's like 71% of you say, yeah, she designed it. And that would be on brand for Robin. That she went back and she designed the jewelry and did this for Cody behind the scenes. Cody took credit for it, but her hand was in it, which is why hers. I thought hers was actually better than most of them. To be honest, quiet as kept, and her story was better. Like, you gave Janelle a freaking tree. Yeah, because Janelle, you sturdy as shit, so I'm gonna give you a tree. Uh, uh, Christine, you like a moon because you pretty much a lunatic. So lunatic. That's why I gave you a moon. And Mary, yeah, I just basically gave you a crown. Even though you're a princess, I'm gonna give you a king's crown. It says a word on it. It says loyalty, because that's what I expect you to be, loyal to me. Robin, you're like a goddess, a beautiful goddess that rose from the fiery flames of despair. So, I mean, come on, man. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at. 66% is going down, is going down. All right, so people are starting to say, no, James, Cody designed that beautiful jewelry and gave it to him. But uh Janelle, I'll let that run a little bit. But Janelle, she gets the jewelry, right? And she takes that tree that she received from Cody, and it looks tarnished. Like, that shit is looking bad. Like, before it was supposed to be silver, and Cody was complaining that, like, I'm not going to cheapen the prices of this jewelry because we use these precious metals. Only the finest berries and juices go into the Sister Wives catalog, right? And that joint look brown as shit. Like, that joint look like, that chubby chump look like it will turn your neck green. Okay, Eagles green. Like, it'll turn your neck Kelly green. You will be in trouble with if you wear that. You might have to go get your head cut off, because they're like, that's all gangrene. Okay. You go to the hospital, they're gonna put your head in a fishbowl because you're in trouble. All right. That necklace looks sick. Like, I hope you are not wearing this. But she took that necklace, and I was like, oh, this is the necklace Cody done gave her. And she was like, it used to be special to me. And she took that necklace and she put it on the bottom shelf in the middle of nowhere in a dumpster. Like, she took that necklace. That was, to be honest with you, I didn't think it could get much worse than melting down a ring. I didn't think it could get much worse than that, because Cody had to go to the jeweler. He had talk to the guy and discuss melting the ring down. Like, so that's like a visit, maybe 2 visits. Getting that ring melted down, and he had to pay to get that done. Janelle drove to the middle of nowhere and left that necklace amongst a bunch of strangers' discarded junk on the bottom shelf of a out of the way storage bin in the middle of nowhere. Cold as ice, Jack. Cold as ice. I was like, cold blooded. I was like, this is some Rick James type shit. This is cold blooded. What are we doing? Janelle is Cody, you in trouble. Oh man, when I saw that, I was like, Cody, you are finished. Finish him. Like, she Mortal Kombated his ass. Uppercut. Oh man, Johnny Cage slipped down in that split, hit him in the gonads. Um, so on the way out, right? So okay, so we I'm going to end the poll because I have another cool question for you guys on the poll tip. All right, just to give the results, it says, do you think Robin designed the sister wives' jewelry? 64% said yes. 35% said no. And I'm kind of curious because that wasn't really a well thought out question. J. Lewis fatality. Right? Fatality. Flawless victory. Janelle, uppercut, upper deck, bow. Yeah, it was a poorly read question. So it kind of, there's a question as to maybe some people were thinking that, not only did uh Cody not design it, but there's a possibility that Robin didn't design it either. And she paid somebody to do it or draw it out for him. She just came up with an idea. It's like, yeah, I want to make a tree. And you got to just draw a tree. That's possible too. But the next question I wanted to ask that the last scene of this particular episode was David sitting on a bar stool with Christine and Janelle. They're having a conversation. This is the first time Janelle took a shot. And I'm going to say this. I kind of believe Janelle when she said she's not used to drinking because they had one buttery nipple and Janelle had a little bit of beer. And Janelle was bumped up. Janelle was 3 sheets to the wind. She was done data. That's somebody who's never really, drank before. And one of the things that with drinking is when you start drinking is hard because nobody takes the first sip of beer and is like, this is amazing. Or the first sip of especially whiskey or something like that, like brown liquor. Nobody's like, wow, I found my Kool-Aid. This is sweet like Kool-Aid. This is delicious. That's not a thing. You have to develop a taste for it. Like you have to endure to be an alcohol person. You have to endure a little bit. You got to struggle through it, And then after a while, you kind of get a taste for it. It's an acquired taste, as the folks used to say back in the day. But they started asking questions. So yeah, I think Janelle was jacked up. I think Janelle, she was on one. Cause yeah, she's on a bar stool. She was talking about she can't feel her legs and shit. Like she was jacked up. I wasn't drunk. Yeah, you were. I'm not saying she got, she was totally obliterated. Like she probably remembers the episode and remembers filming and what she had to drink. But she should not get behind the wheel of a car at that point. I think she was at that place. But the thing I wanted to point out, everybody took turns having a conversation. Oh, did you drink? Janelle says she never drank. She never went to a bar. She never drank. It wasn't a thing. Then Christine, she didn't really drink before. She's probably drinking with David because David does seem like he's a drinker. Like there's some things that David said. I'm like, oh, David's probably a good time hanging out with. Right. And again, this is the first real glimpse that we have to see David's actual personality. So I'm kind of excited about that to a degree. Cody, oh, I would never drink. I'd never drink. I'd just take a little sip of something like, oh, that's nasty. How could you do that to yourself? But I'm an alpha male. I'm just kidding. You don't have to be an alpha male to be a drunk too. That's not required. But it's just saying, I'm just saying, oh, I took a little sip of whiskey. Oh, that's not the most, stereotypical misogynistic manly thing to do. You know what I mean? Well, I take a little sip of whiskey. Ooh, I don't know how you guys do this. Oh wow, what's going on, Playboy? But then there was something that Robin said that I was like, which please? She said, you wicked witch of the West. She said, I never had a shot at a bar. I've never been to a bar. That wasn't the question, Robin. The question was, do you drink? Did you take a shot? Have you ever had a shot before? It's not in a bar. The fact that you had to classify it and be super specific about what you did and where you did it, and that's your denial. Oh, I never had a drink in a bar. I never had a shot in a bar. So therefore, I'm innocent still. No, 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 no. Because that's like if you go home to your husband and your wife, your significant other, and you say, baby, you guys have a truth night, truth session night. And you say, baby, I'm curious, you know, fall into the trap. I'm not gonna be mad or nothing if you just tell the truth. Don't fall for that shit because they totally gonna be mad if you tell the truth. I'm not gonna be mad or nothing. I just want you to tell the truth. Have you ever cheated on me? Yeah. And you as a person, a cautious soul that you are, you think about it, say, have I ever cheated on you? Or you do my favorite. Have I ever cheated? Right. And you look them in the face and say, oh yeah, I never cheated on you with your sister. I never cheated on you at the Red Roof Inn. Then the answer is yes. The answer is you totally been doing this. The answer for Robin, have you ever had a drink before? I totally believe, based on her response, that she was getting fired up, possibly when she was getting pregnant with Dayton. Like, I think that was a thing, or maybe even like shortly after she was going down, she was swinging her ass off of a bar stool trying to pick people up at the local pub, and then she decided that she heard about sister wife money coming through the Utah church and the AUB, and decided to click her heels 3 times, jumping on her broomstick and ride down to Utah so she could pick up a man named Cody Brown. I think that is a possibility. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to put that into a poll. All right. And that'll be the last poll. Then we're going to get into some of you guys' comments and observations from the show. Robin, do you believe that Robin never do you believe Robin, okay, I'll say it that way. Do you believe Robin, why is that not, when she says she never had a shot? Do you believe Robin when she says she never had a shot? Oh, maybe I put some punctuation in there just to dress it up because we fancy down this way. We're gonna put some actual punctuation on it. The grammar probably still shaky, but we're gonna put some punctuation in just to make it look better. Uh I'm just saying, like, this is crazy. Like when she said that, I was like, oh man. Oh yeah, I mean, I ain't never, had a shot on like a random Tuesday, September 30th, 1949. Like I've never done a shot there. Like, come on, man. Who you fooling? Who you fooling? That I think this is the weird part too. Like, you guys need to just come clean and say what it is. If you buck wild, you buck wild. There's people like nobody gonna judge you. And this is the weird part about it. I think that especially in our world, so many people are so worried about the plastic image that they try to put forward and trying to be perfect in all things that they do in their presentation of who they are, that you lose sight of the fact that nobody likes people who are perfect. No, because when you come off to me like you're perfect and you try to present that your life is perfect and everything that happens in your life is perfect because you got a perfect mate, a perfect date, a perfect house, perfect car, perfect kids, then that lets me know that you full of shit. You got more problems than a little bit. That's what that tells me off the rip. Okay, because nobody's life is perfect. People make mistakes, people do things, people experiment with stuff. And Cody, he comes out and he finally admits that, oh guys, I had a partner when I was in college. Whatever. It is what it is. There's some controversy there on who it could be, but he had a partner in college. And to be honest with you, I really don't care if male, female, as long as they consenting and they of age, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. But the fact that you think I do, I have a problem with that. If Robin was going out getting she was getting blitzkrieged every weekend. I don't give a shit. I might actually like her more because it would explain some things. Oh, okay, she's just a drunk. She a lush. She can't help herself. She's just making bad choices. Okay? And she's a good time. The wives, the other three wives, they teetotalers. Robin's out, she kicking it back. You know what I mean? She getting the party started. That's why Cody's over there. Because I mean, not to be too crass, but this is where we got at. When push them down and shove, let's be honest. David was looking at Christine because he was finna have some drunk. You understand what I mean? He was trying to drown the cat. I'm just saying. Like my man was like, "Ooh, we doing straight up shots. We got another please." And then since Janelle's off the slippery nipple, we're gonna start going to like Jaeger. We're gonna hit some Jaeger. We're gonna hit some of that JD. We're gonna circle it up with some Southern Comfort. You know what I mean? He gonna run the whole, and it's not even like he's going like up top. Don't reach for no Belvedere, none of that Grey Goose. No, we're gonna keep it mid-level. We're not gonna get gutter stuff because we classy. And I'm not trying to, see my shoes in the toilet later tonight. You know what I mean? You get a certain age, you can't be messing around with too much booze anyway, because they give you that whiskey stuff and you can't, stay into attention. You popping pills trying to get your stuff right. But he like, we're gonna stay mid-shelf. But if you can reach like this, we gonna be doing that. So we be getting some of the old favorites, absolute stuff, and they're gonna have a good time. We're gonna do some kamikazes, we're gonna do some hurricanes, we're gonna do, it's and that's the crazy thing. Like the title of drinks, insane. It's either like crazy sexual or it's like a natural disaster. Those are the worst ones. Like, oh, kamikaze, And then what is it? Long Island. Give me one of them Long Islands. There ain't no tea in that. I've seen them make them. I've had a few. There's no zero tea in a Long Island iced tea. It is not one of the ingredients. You mean ingredients? No, the ingredients. Okay. Forget about it. Alabama Slammer. Like, come on, man. I think they was out there because Dave kind of struck me as the Alabama Slammer type dude. He going straight Jaeger. That dude, that stuff make you just, hate your life in the morning. What have I done to myself? That's that booze, like that mid-level stuff. That's that booze that make you apologize for being alive. I'm sorry, Lord, I didn't mean to waste my life. if you can find a way to get me through this, I promise I'm gonna turn myself around. I'm gonna be in church on Sunday, every Sunday. Please just let me get through this. But yeah, but I'm glad they had a good time. I'm glad they had some fun. Let me we're gonna see what these results is looking like. And then let me put the want to put the thing up in there. Oh wait, that's not it. I lost my link. Oh, here it is. We're about to get linked up, y'all. All right. I'm gonna bring you guys up so we can get her done. All right. Here's the link. All right. We'll pin that to the top. All right. So we'll keep the poll open for a little bit. The poll is, do you believe Robin when she says she never had a shot? Now I'm gonna tell you right now, Robin, it don't look good for you. So you better hope for like a late night turnaround to get this popping because you're in trouble. All right, let's go through some of these super chats. I'm sorry, I kind of ran as long as I did without acknowledging folks who've been supporting the channel. Let's get into it. Amy, oh, Amy LaCoy with $5 super chat. Hopefully, I got the name right. Hi, James. Did Janelle's move happen after Gabe's passing? Oh, Garrison. It was Big G's Garrison. Does that mean they're skipping it other than the place card on episode 1? I think that the move did happen after Garrison passed. Like, because I think she acquired the property after he passed. Let me just check real quick. I'm pretty sure that that was the case. I'm pretty sure that if I'm remembering correctly. Oh no, 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 no! I am wrong. Um, Janelle purchased the land in April of 2024, and he passed in March of 2024. So, oh no, 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 he did. Yeah, James, what are you doing, brother? April comes after March, cuz. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I'm wore out. Yeah, so she purchased the land after he passed. That's what I thought. So yeah, I think that they're going to make a special, you know, um episodes dealing just with that. And it'll probably occur towards the end of the season. I'm thinking that that's how they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to totally forget it because part of it too is that where Cody is as far as his story arc on the show. If they came out with, you know what? Yeah, if they came out with Cody doing his thing and saying the stuff he's been saying and they ran with that, it would be terrible. If they have Big G's passing and then you still have Cody trying to steal money and steal Cody Pass. That could destroy the show because it's just, I mean, it is evil, but it would be like in your face evil. It would be too much. So I'm kind of hoping out. I'm holding out hope that they do address it and they do it respectably at the end of the season. But thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate it. Amy, that was a oh, nah, never mind. I ain't gonna talk about that. You'll get me in trouble. You'll get me in trouble, Amy. But thank you so much. Uh Mary Elwin. Thank you so much. 499 super chat. No message, just the love. Appreciate you, Mary. Um, unlimited lipstick. Okay. Okay. 699 super chat. Robin be casting spells on the live, James. Yeah, I know. I know. I think it's Robin. I'm gonna blame Robin because she get the blame for everything else. When my stuff was hitting like snags earlier on this evening, it was all her. She was sitting there with her witch's brew, putting in her little Eye of Newton frog tails. You know, frog tails. Get that? She inventing parts. She ain't even tell the truth when it come to parts she put into the soup. And she was mixing up her witch's brew, and she put the curse on me. She put the hex on the show because she was like, he gonna talk trash about me. And you right, Robin, all night. I'm on your neck. You and your boyfriend Cody. Brittany, not Brittany, 999 super chat. Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate you. That's one of our super mods, mega mods. Brittany, I like that name, mega mods. That's my mega mods. Um, they're not regular mods, they mega mods. Uh, how do you want to be involved with Aurora's faith and do no effing research into the faith? Yeah, right. Not that you did any research, you know anything about it, but why don't you come in there and participate in one of the core founding cornerstones of our actual religion? Even though you're not part of it, it's great. Don't worry about it. We're that relaxed. That kind of gives you a second. Maybe I shouldn't be joining this religion. This is kind of hokey pokey. Brittany, not Brittany, 999 super chat. How do you want to be involved with Aurora's faith and do no effing research into the faith she wants to join? What do you mean? Does getting baptized mean you're joining their church? So unserious. This is so true. This is so true. Are you joining them? Yeah, I'm gonna get baptized. Just like you're marrying them, so you're gonna become part of their family. That's what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, that's what that means. When I do that, that's pretty much how that goes. That's what they're telling me. All right. Thank you. Pretty not pretty in the house. All right. Michelle Woods in the house with 9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Oh, wait. Michelle Woods, 9.99 super chat. Best example of psycho we report for is Netflix You. The guy is a serial stalker, but we root for him because the target he stalks surrounds herself with horrible people. And that's what thank you. And that's what I'm talking about. Like they make shows like that all the time where you're rooting for somebody who's a terrible, terrible person, but you hope the best for that person because that's the person that you're following. And if you really take a step back and think about it, like what about the people that they do their thing to? Like, that was one of my biggest complaints with like back in the Twilight days when Edward would say, like, he's like hundreds of years old, dating a girl is like 16 years old, on its face, disgusting. But he turned around and said that, when I was earlier on in my development as a young vampire, I was, knocking people off like flapjacks. I was eating people like hotcakes on a Sunday afternoon. Like, that's just what I was doing. But then 50 years ago, me and my family decided we were going to become vegetarians and eat deer. That makes no sense because deers are meat and they're alive and you're chasing them down and eating them. So you're still a liar and you're still a killer. And no matter how many vegetables you eat, you are still a horrible person. Because what about those people who never made it home, went out that evening? Maybe they had plans with their kids and they ran into Edward's ass at the local tavern and he's feasting on them by the time the sun goes down. Like that's not okay. you're not okay because you redeemed yourself. And I think that that's one of the things that we see with this. Like you follow people and you're attracted to those characters because you're invested in those character situations. And when the way they're doing Sister Wives, there's zero investment in any of the character situations. Like because we don't know anything about them. So we're watching, it's not Sister Wives or Sister Lives, it's watching a bunch of strangers. Like I could probably get more information from people on the subway, watching people on the subway call for 45 minutes than I can watching an episode of Sister Wives for 45 minutes. Just saying. Thank you so much, Michelle Woods in the house. Jenny P, $5 super chat. But Robin hated so much in the early years. Sure, Chan. Sure, Jan. Jan. Jada P. Now that super sticker. Thank you so much, Jada P. Awesomeness. Carmel Cuties, $5 super chat. It's ridiculous how Cody and K played Janelle. Cody and Robin played Janelle. Ain't no way I would have kept putting money into that family account knowing that Cody was spending carelessly. We got something to talk about, y'all. Let me get through these, and because we got something else we need to talk about. Because somebody pulled my coattail on something that blew my mind earlier today. Apparently, in Australia, they get a different cut of Sister Wives. We're gonna drop it right now. They get a different cut of Sister Wives. And on the cut of Sister Wives, they got, remember when Janelle was talking to Mary and giving her the 411 about like Coyote Pass? The other thing, you Mary, you ain't got no land on Coyote Pass. You about to get screwed, girl. You need to get a lawyer. They were having that conversation on Skype. Apparently, during that conversation, Janelle had revealed that she had asked Cody to take his name off of her bank account because he had his name on her account, on her private account. And I was thinking, girl, forget telling them to take his name off. You need to close that account, open a new account is what you need to do. Forget waiting for him to do it. Because if your name, just a pro tip, guys, if you have somebody's name on your account, they have every right to go in there and empty that account. They could take every nickel that's in that account, and they don't have to account for how the money was put in there, how much they actually put in, and how much you put in. If they have access to the account, they have access to all the account. Every nickel, dime, penny in that account, they could take out. And so, Janelle, you got homegirl, you gotta start making moves, player. You should not be sitting there having this conversation with this man. Well, apparently, when she moved, um, during the time when she was going to move, Cody found out about it, and she went to. I guess this is part of her looking for documents for the lawyer to figure out what money was coming in, what money went out of the family fund. And as it turned out, Cody took her name off the damn family fund and closed the family fund. What? What? And like Carmel Kitty said, there's no way in the world I would keep dumping money into these people, and you gonna do something like this. That's gonna create a problem. That would be I went off earlier today, so I'm not gonna go crazy again today, right now. But I'm telling you, that shit would be a problem. We would have a problem. All right, break it up is one thing, but doing what he did, no, you don't take all the money out and then take my name off on the back end. Oh no, oh no, that's a problem. Carmel Kitties, thank you so much. Also, one of the the mega moderators. Thank you so much, Carmel Kitties. Appreciate you. Then we have YouTube is my time machine. Salute, $5 super chat. The fact that Robin acts so confused when she asks about the money Janelle gave her towards her house. I'm just not that nice. I'm with you. YouTube is my time machine. I know the Lord is still working on me. I'm not going. I'm not perfect. I'm the first to say that. I'm nowhere near perfect. He is the Lord is still working. I'm up off the ground. Lord got me on the left, and He's still working on me. And He's gonna have to put some overtime in on me because I got to get right. But maybe that's why my grizzled ass is still around. He's like, oh, if I take him now, he going where it's hot. So we got to do some more work on James. But it could be me. It just could be me. Especially you talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, and just on general principle. Like I got 159 acres down in North Carolina. I don't give a shit. That's my stuff. I'm talking about what I invested with you, and then you gonna just take it. Like if we lost the house or we lost the property, that would be one thing. But if you just take the money and then try to play me out like I'm a chump on top of it, oh, I would be in that dog. I would be in that bar hitting shots. Okay. I would be in that bar topping shots off. You know what I mean? Get my head blown back because there's no way. I'm like, bro, this is not. I be calling them up like, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. I'm trying to warn you for me. I'm not warning you for you. At that point, I don't call people. I would never call somebody up and threaten nobody because that's not my style, right? But I would look. I'm trying to help me out because you're putting me in a bad situation, brother. I'm in a bad state of mind. My car keys in my hand. Like I'm trying not to come over there. I'm trying to be good, but the way you doing me, you the devil. The devil is a lie. Yeah, I mean, oh, it's so much. And then like you said, Robinson and back in the day, we used to call that playing in somebody's face. Like Robin is straight up playing in their face. Like you know what you did, and you trying to sit there and pretend like you don't understand nothing. That's problematic. Problematic. So thank you so much. YouTube is my time machine. Great point. Uh Joan Brasher, 9.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Joan. Free Aurora on and Brianna. Free Aurora and Brianna. Yeah, let them go. Because like part of the struggle that I have with a lot of this stuff is the fact that I just don't see maybe it's because they're trying to prepare for a storyline. They're trying to lay a storyline out that is just coming off this way. But the way they are presenting themselves, it comes off as though these young ladies are not prepared for life. If Cody and Robin have like a terrible car accident or something horrible happens to them, these young ladies are lost. They're in trouble. Okay, the way they're being presented on this show, I'm not saying I don't know them personally, so in real life maybe they're different people, but the way they're presented on the show, holy smokes! Oh, I have the link up if you guys were interested in jumping. But yeah, crazy, crazy. Thank you so much, Drone. Yeah, make t-shirts. Free Aurora and Brianna. Hell, maybe we should be worried about dating because nobody's seen his ass. You know, I hope he's just laying low and they don't just have him like, you will not be on the show. We will not have you in public. Betty Papasil Mama, 999 super chat. Once again, doing my homework for my master's to James's voice to stay awake and fired up. Practicum starts in August. Okay. Graduation and licensing in May. Yeah, baby. Keep doing you, James. It's working. Thank you so much. Oh wow, that is awesome. Betty is let's get some hearts in the chat for Betty. Doing her thing. That's awesome. Okay. Ain't nothing like an educated person, boy. Doing your thing. You go, girl. You go. Don't let nobody stop you from doing you. Let's get some hearts. Got some hearts popping for Betty. Thank you so much, guys. I gotta roll some memberships out because I want to get you guys some of the icons and all that stuff so we can celebrate people properly. Thanks so much, Betty. That's awesome. Okay. She got to get a graduate degree and licensing in May. Okay. All right. Taking no short serious. Jada P. $1.99 super chat. Cody's fake tears. Yeah, right. Oh, I'm so hurt. You gonna find religion? Oh. Give me a damn break. Are you are that desperate? You cry like that when your daughter come in and she tell you some bad news. You about to be grandparents. And I don't know who the daddy is. Oh God, oh God. You don't cry. Oh, I'm going to church. Oh, she going to church. You know what I mean? Cry like that. Oh, I'm gonna be scripting on the weekends. Oh no. Oh, what have I done? Oh God, I want to get baptized. Oh, what have we done? We raised the wrong. This is the most ridiculous storyline ever. It's such a stupid storyline. You're not even, I could almost understand it. I could almost understand. Still be weird, but I could almost understand it if this was something that was like a conversation they were having and they were like devoted to their faith. And then all of a sudden, their child wants to step outside their faith and go pursue some other faith. Then there might be like some room for angst. But you haven't been to church either. When was the last time you were in church, Cody? For real. When was the last time your ass was in church? You're not even, as far as I know, you're not even welcome at the damn place anymore. So, what are you upset about? Oh, my experience with church. And that's another weird thing. The fact that your kid is trying to come and share what their experiences is with something, and you can't, it's not like you're trying to tell them your experience to help them understand or give them guidance on what they're feeling or what they're going through. You're trying to see their lives through the lens of your life, which is crazy to me. That's like defeats the whole purpose of having children. You don't have kids so you can try to shove their young lives through your grizzled ass old life, the lens of your grizzled ass old life. You don't see things good because your lens is dusty as hell and it is cracked and destroyed because life is so rough on it. So you want to try to take their innocent, bright, clear lives or lenses, and you want to see the world through your light and your lens. Why don't you look through their eyes? The wonder that they have, the new experiences, the wonder of the world as it's unfolding from their perspective, as opposed to only focusing on how it affects you. Again, this is where people go right in the chat. That's because Cody's a narcissist, right? I get it. I'm just saying, like, it's just disturbing as hell. It's disturbing as hell. Thank you so much, Jada P. Cindy from Oz, $7.99 super chat. Tell us where the family funds went. We want receipts. Exactly. If you want to start telling this story, you want to start rolling this story out, start giving up some paperwork. I want to see some receipts. I want to see where the money went, And if you sit there and say you don't have the money, then you need to talk to somebody. Send your boys over there to find out, help Cody get his receipts together. Send the boys in to get the receipts. Help your daddy find them receipts, boys. Oh man. All right. So I'm gonna close the poll down. Do you believe Robin when she says she never had a shot? 11% of you said, yes, I believe Robin when she said she never had a shot. A resounding 89% of you said, hail to the Nizal. Robin, I don't believe you. Just like I don't believe that, the only time that you were strayed away and gave up your purity was when you happened to make dating that one time. Like, I don't believe that either. So I'm gonna put that in that same category, along right next to the storyline that her and Cody weren't doing anything until after they got married. Yeah, I'm gonna put that right next to that that as far as the believability scale. So thank you guys so much for participating in the poll. Again, that's 89% of you said that they do not believe Robin when she said she never had a drink. Thank you guys so much for participating. I love to hear your perspective. We have the phone lines up at the top. Let's see. Raider Ma with the $4.99 super chat. I want to see TLC force all of them being on the couches at the same time. If companies are forcing people to go back in person, so should they. Or no money. Or their pockets fitting to come up short. I don't disagree. Like, I think that they're at a point now where earlier on it could have been argued that maybe they shouldn't be on the couches together because they probably wouldn't be comfortable with that, and maybe through that it'll turn kind of it'll just be one-sided, because it just would have been Cody's side, because none of the women were really prepared to stand up to him. At this point, I don't think Cody is willing to do it because these ladies are not bowing down to him, and I don't think he's ready for I don't think he's ready for prime time yet. Like, especially when you have somebody who can challenge you and you can't default to. You don't really know what's going on because you don't know my life. You don't know what happened in my life. So there's that. Let me just check some things. Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Raiders Mom. Good seeing you again. Raiders Mom was here earlier. There were a few people were here earlier. So good seeing you guys again. Thanks for hanging out with me twice in one day. All right. Sassy Experience, $2 super chat. Told y'all Tell would be the same and with Suki. Yeah, yeah. Suki is back. I'm hoping, like I said, I hope that they're cutting Suki loose and they're letting her oh shit. Oh, okay. The thing is wrong. Let me update the link. Said it's for the last live. Let me get that done. I'm hoping that what they do is they let Suki run with it. Let me see. Yep, it sure as shit is wrong. All right, let me correct that. Remove. Okay. Here's the link. I was wondering why nobody was calling in. All right. Yeah, but I'm hoping that they let Suki run. They let Suki run. So thank you so much, Sassy Experience in the house. Unlimited lipstick, 279 super chat. Maybe they can melt down the Cody jewelry. You know what? The meltdown part was rough, but I think it was so much colder what Janelle did. Like, to leave that shit in the middle of the desert at the bottom of a shelf in some rando ass lot or storage bin, cold blooded. Shit is cold blooded, Jack. Cold blooded. So I'm not mad at it. But yeah, I don't know if to be honest with you, I don't know if a jeweler would melt that down because it doesn't look like it's precious metal. Like, he might just hand you a can of lighter fluid and tell you to go, put that shit in a grill and have at it. Like, this ain't gonna melt. We don't melt down nickel. Fake gold. Put this, this might put toxic fumes in the air. Megatron 719, $2 super chat. Extend clock into premarital relations. Live at 4. I live for it. Yeah, I live for it. Yeah, that Christine is finally saying the things that, like I said, all they're doing is, and this is one of the criticisms I have as far as the show is concerned, their observations are merely them catching up to the rest of us. Because I've been saying, and many of you have been saying for years that Cody knocked that, he was knocking bottoms way before he married her. He wasn't driving 5 damn hours. I'm a grown ass man, Doc. You can't tell me that another man is driving 5 hours to go sit on some woman's couch with her 3 kids in the background, and all he doing is going over there watching movies and holding a hand. Sorry. And maybe that's reflective of my character, my personality. Maybe that's just me. But I've been around for a long time, and I just don't know. I don't know any guys who would do that. Drive 5 hours every weekend, one way, to go sit on a couch, spend the whole weekend, and then drive 5 hours back. And then if you one of the wives, imagine how that makes you feel. Your husband driving 5 hours to go hold somebody's hand when you got all kinds of stuff happening at the house. And he should be handling the things at the crib, but he's too busy go sit on somebody's couch and stare them in the face. I hope you are knocking off, roughing off. There's no way in the world. I'm just saying, like I'm with you, Megatron. Though I'm here for it. I do want to see the response because I know Cody's gonna pitch a fit. I know Robin's gonna lose her mind, and I'm waiting for it. Raspberry with the $20 super chat. Thank you, James. Not bothered by getting invested in the early seasons. I'm disenfranchised that Cody has started a prairie puppy droppings compost factory. That's a very interesting turn of phrase. Thank you so much for that. That Cody has started a prairie puppy droppings compost factory and expects us to buy gold encrusted bags of his horse manure. Yeah, exactly. You trying to trick me and then you mad because I'm not being tricked. It's ridiculous. Next up we got Trish 499 super sticker. Thank you so much, Trish. Appreciate you. We have Rosalind Davis, 499 super chat. Sister Wives is all over the place. Cody needs to seen for who he is. Asshole. Yeah, basically. Basically, that's what it is. Like, and that's part of the problem is that if you can sum up one of the characters with one word and there's no complexity, no layers to the character, that's a bad show. And it's soon to be scrapped. So Cody, if you're watching, you need to get it together. Yeah, you need to pull on your big boy panties and start shooting some real stuff. Because we want to see the storyline. We want the dirt. And if you're not willing to show it, which is fine, it's your choice. If you're not willing to show it, just recognize it for what it is and be ready to come up off the show. That's all it is, But I don't want to watch you sit there and have conversations. Guys, this week, Aurora, yeah, she crossed the street by herself. We're all going down to the corner and watch Aurora cross the street. It's going to be amazing, guys. Like that, I'm not watching that episode. Okay. And that's where I feel like we're headed. This week, we're going to watch Aurora go in and she's going to sit there and write her name in cursive. And Cody going to cry. I remember I'll write my name in cursive. I mean, it's just dumb. So we need more. We need more. Lee, $1.99 super chat. Isn't Cody fighting Janelle over Big G's estate? That's what I heard. I've heard that's like a rumor mill has it. I can't prove it one way or another. This is just what I've heard from just being around that not being around them, but being around in their spaces. That part of the reason why Janelle and the OG-13 and the other family members fell out with Robin. The ones who were getting along with her, McKelty and them, they fell out with Robin and Cody because they were at one of the services inquiring about Garrison's or Big G's estate, like his home and things of that nature. What how much money and where the money was going to go and who was going to get what. And if you couldn't find 5 minutes to call that young man, then you don't need to worry about where his house money's going. That's just where I'm at. And to be honest with you, like I said last week, my mom raised me to not be a damn ghoul. Like, you don't sit around and wait for people to get sick and wait for them to kick off so you can get some kind of advantage from their disadvantage, whether it's their death, their sickness, or whatever the case may be. If whatever they have is theirs, if somehow you find your way into getting those things or receiving those things, then it's a blessing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But other than that, I'm not sitting around waiting for somebody to kick off so I can have a house to move into. I'm not waiting for somebody to kick off so I get some kind of financial advantage, especially somebody I care about. If you care about that person, I would much rather have the person around than to have their stuff around. Just saying. So thank you so much, Lee. Appreciate that. Lizzie B in the house. One of the mega mods. $5 super chat. I want to see Christine and her reunite. I do want to see that. I want to see that on camera. And I want to see them have a real conversation about polygamy and about the first time my aunt was on TV. Sorry to cut in the middle of that, but I do think that's an excellent point. We need more than entertainment with this show. We want to see growth. And I think that that's part of it. I think that by them actually getting together and having a real conversation about polygamy and about what their struggles were and how they felt about leaving, why they left, why it was so important for the aunt to try to get her niece out, Christine out, and her feelings as far as how she felt when Christine treated her the way she did. Because many of us say, well, we don't understand why they stay in these relationships so long. But then at the same time, people have been trying to get them out of these relationships, warning them, pulling their coattails the whole time. Like her aunt was sitting there on the stage. This is not going to work out. Everything the aunt said back on the stage in Lehigh or in UNLV, everything she said came to fruition. Everything she said about the situation came to fruition. It was like she had a crystal ball and she was reading a future. Not crystal ball, the channel, but crystal ball, like, you know. Slick talking. But it was like she was predicting the future. And I think it would be interesting. They should get you, Lizzie B. They ought to hire you to be one of the producers. Because that'd be a good storyline. I would watch that storyline. Sue's $9.99 super chat. I'm loving this. Thank you. I'm loving this too. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everybody with the super chat, all your support. Make sure you guys hit the like button. That's the easy way to support the channel. Helps to get the word out and everything else with the algorithm and all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Gotta be honest, the likes is a little dusty. We get the likes up, that'd be awesome. Some people are like, "Oh, I'm not liking this." I will not let YouTube know that I'm watching this. It's okay. It's all right. I could be that forbidden secret. Michelle Woods in the house. Michelle Woods, $4.99 super chat. I'm not defending Edward Cullen, but in his early days of being a vampire, he killed murderers that were on the prowl. Just clarifying. Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, killing is killing. It's kind of Dexterish. And that gives him some. It gives him some. It kind of gives him a little grace, but he's still a monster. Like at the end of the day, like he's still a monster, and that's kind of the twist of like our current entertainment. We kind of worship or we like or are drawn to the darker side of characters or whatever. Like we go into like a whole study of like how we root for the bad guys in our culture a little bit. But thank you for the clarification. And this might actually be something that appears in the book. Like these might be part of the book. Like Michelle might be going beyond because I never read the books. I only saw some of the movies. and I had to stop watching movies because it was just like this is ridiculous. Like because at one point the young lady who they were supposed to be in love with, they were fighting over the part of the third part of the triangle. She was like, "I'm about to be 18. I'm gonna be an old woman, and you ain't gonna want me." I'm like, he's like 200 years old, and you talking about you gonna be an old woman at 18? There's problems. Whoever wrote this is like crazy. Like this is insane. What are we doing, y'all? So that's when I stopped watching. But I remember him saying that basically he was threatening her, saying that, I'm a monster and everything about me is designed to get you. And I could run you, I could overpower you, I'm stronger than you, I'm faster than you. I have these looks to be able to draw you in, and all of it's designed so I could do terrible things to you because I'm a terrible person. And she said, I love you anyway. You a bad boy. I love bad boys in my life because I'm for the streets. And that's pretty much what I remember with Twilight. But I could be wrong. Thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate you. We also have Kathy Mosley with the $5 super chat. Then we're gonna get into the calls. You guys being patient, I appreciate it. Robin first divorce had a clause by the court stating she couldn't drink. Ooh, what? What? Her divorce? I never heard that. Her divorce had a clause by the court saying she couldn't drink. Uh, that's no bueno. That's no bueno. If the courts just don't put in, that's not standard language. You shall not drink. The only time, and from what I've seen, and the only time things I've ever heard is when they put things like that in there is usually when there's a problem. And I'm gonna leave it right there. Allegedly, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if this is true. I'm just saying that if this is true, then from what I understand about court proceedings and court orders, they just don't include that in there. Like they don't say, you can't drink around the kids. You can't drink at all unless there's a problem. If you drink, you lose custody. Like that kind of stuff is usually when there's a problem. So allegedly, I don't, disclaimer. Well, wow. Thank you, Kathy. Woo. To our Eve R, $2 super chat. Twilight's author is Mormon. No shade. That makes sense. No shade. Thank you so much, Eve. All right. And then we have Brittany Not Brittany, 499 super chat. Stephanie Mayer, Twilight author, is hella Mormon. So do with that information what you will. LOL. Yeah, right. Everybody's like, she's Mormon. She's in the mix. The fact that they talking about these young kids and all that bothers, troublesome, very troublesome. Yeah, and I don't get too deep into the books because it might get me knocked off YouTube. But yeah, or at least from what I understand with some of them. Or am I thinking about an Interview with a Vampire was a little different? But thank you guys so much for the super chats. Let me give you guys a little something. Appreciate the support. All right, and we are going to get into some of these phone calls. Awesomeness. Awesome. Let me plug this up real quick so I can hear folks. All right. And as promised, Carmel Cuties, what's going on? Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm tired. I'm trying to hang in there. I got to be up at 4 a.m. I got a 2-hour commute to the new job, so
Oh, okay. Okay.
I,
Well,
I
congratulations on a new gig.
thank you very much. Training has been a lot, so um, some of these lives have gotten me through. Let me fix. I'll go back and rewatch them, but I'm a little irritated by tonight. And sad to say, I had my window open and my French was extremely loud. So one of my neighbors, she has a 2-year-old, and I guess she was putting him to bed and was like, "Is everything okay over there?" No, I'm sorry, it's not. I'll close my window. I apologize. So, um,
It is not all good in
yeah,
the neighborhood. Yeah, I got you.
not at all. And sadly, the the scene that had me, you know, screaming out the the profanities was when Aurora decides to come upstairs and casually, oh, like, oh, great, I need to talk to both of you. Like that wasn't already set up. Robin came
Mm,
up, full makeup, hair done. You know what I'm saying? Like the cameras just happened to be there on
right,
the day she decides to speak to mom and dad at 23 years old, wanting to be baptized. Like I'm so freaking over that. It's bullshit. Pardon my French, but
right.
it is. Then to have her cry and ask Cody, like, I don't know no church from apostolic to Baptist to even Catholic when it comes to baptisms that they allow somebody who's not of clergy to participate in the baptism. Like that just did you pay the pastor to be like, I need my dad to help you? Like what the hell was that all about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I've never heard of that. Like I've heard
Never.
of people being there, and maybe you could walk into the pool with them, where they're doing the baptism. But I've
Hmm.
never heard of somebody saying you could do the baptism. I've never heard of
Never.
it. Never.
Never. From baby blessings, all
Right.
from one end to the other of the spectrum of who's going in the water or having water touch their body. I've never heard or seen that one. I've
Right.
seen them ask the family to come up. I've seen that, and everybody can be around the water area, the pool, whatever, whatnot. I've even seen a baptism when I lived in apartments in the middle of our pool, in the middle of an apartment complex, and still only seen one person touching the bodies and putting them under and bringing them back up.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
it's they need a storyline. They need it needs to be the rewriting of what is Cody and Robin. And now it's the we're sensitive and look at our kids and we're soft, and even though the rest of the family treats us as outsiders, what we do in our home is this. Don't nobody give a damn.
Right.
They wasted film. That was a waste of money. Come on now. But to move forward when it comes to like, I would love to know which child leaked and told Cody that Janelle was moving. I have my assumptions, and I want to say it was 9 times out of 10 McKelty.
Right. Yeah, that's
But
where my money is.
it, what was the point? Like, why would you even slip and say anything? It had nothing to do with you. Like, now what if Cody acted a plummet fool and went and tried to stop Janelle? Janelle never did nothing bad to McKelty. If allegedly she was the one who slipped of the tongue and told her that. But
Right.
at the end of the day, I'm glad Janelle did get out of there. The scenes. Tonight was one of those you can tell they're scrounging around for whatever they can put out there. And it's not making sense because y'all took forever to get to this point in the timeline. And now it's like you're trying to rush to hurry up and catch up to current time when we know current time, sadly, we're going to have to talk about Garrison's passing, but yet they haven't spoken of him at all. I think tonight was the first time I even heard Janelle say anything
Mm-hmm.
when she said, I have Garrison engaged still here in Flagstaff, which, okay, I'm glad you guys are acknowledging him because he's been cut out of damn near every scene when they, do the flashbacks.
Right.
When they talked about the COVID rules or whatever else, they cut him out. And it's not making any sense. Like we didn't see it before in season 15, 16, and 17 that he was, you know what I'm saying? His reflection was in the mirror or his reflection was in the glass and he was sitting next to Gabe when they were outside having that patio conversation. But to hear what you said about, I haven't watched the UK version yet. I'll probably watch it on my commute to work in the morning. But if that's true, Cody needs his ass whooped.
Not that we're condoning violence,
Oh
but
no, I'm condoning it tonight. I'm sorry. And I feel like Peyton need to roll up, Logan need to roll up, Hunter need to pull up, the whole damn clan need to come and whoop on him, and Robin at this point, because that is some pitiful stuff. How do you steal from your own family, dude?
right. Right. Well, I mean, again, I think that stresses the idea that Cody holds himself out as a businessman, but I don't know anybody who would do business with somebody who would steal from their own family. I would
That's
never,
ridiculous.
never. I mean, I would be hesitant to invest in a thief, period. but you'll
Right.
invest in a thief who would go as far as stealing from, like, if you steal from your wife, your kids, or your mama, then you'll definitely
Mm-mm.
take from me. Like I have
That part.
no, I'm under no
That part.
equation or illusion that you won't steal from me too. You know
That
what I mean?
part. That whole part right there. And I mean that like the caller said earlier today, that's truly worse than a crackhead.
Right,
Hate to, that's offensive to a crackhead if you want to be real. But
right.
I'm not understanding it. And up until this point, I've always wondered why they haven't taken the legal route.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
it's not like Janelle doesn't have proof that her name was on these accounts.
yeah, yeah,
I I'd lawyer up. I wouldn't care if just it's a wasted court cost and I make him pay all the court fees for a judge to tell me I'm not going to get nothing back out of it. We going to court because
yeah,
there ain't no
yeah,
way.
yeah. We will be like, and the crazy part is that if they like, I'm just saying, like I it's so this whole thing is just so insulting. It's so insulting and so ridiculous that it's next level. Like this is the evil that's being done now is just cartoonish. Like you're
Hmm.
just like this is just genuinely, if you treat people like this, you don't give a shit. Like you
Nope.
don't care. You fresh out of give a damn because nobody treats people like this. Like you got to go out your way to treat people this bad. You know, you
Right.
just doing like you doing extra. You doing too much. You doing too
Like
much.
I'm gonna be real, and then I'm gonna get off because I know you probably got a whole heap of people waiting to say their piece. I have an ex that was like that. He just dogged everybody, including me, including his kids, completely out. And
Mhm.
his mama was the type to be like, "Oh, give him another chance.
Yeah.
He's just going through something. He's not." But he done stole from her. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Right. He's
he was not a
young.
man. He was not a man of his word whatsoever. And
Mhm.
to look at her and be like, how do you still support him? Thick and thin, right and wrong. Like it's nothing. And she'd be like, at the end of the day, sweetie, he's my son. What else am I supposed to do? Cut his ass off. What you mean?
Right. Right.
And I'm
Well,
looking at this like, how does Robin wake up every day, roll over and look at this man and be like, oh, he's such an amazing husband and he's such an amazing father just because he does it to your kids. Because think about it. When
right.
he's done dogging all the rest of them out and he gets tired of her, what do you think he's going to do to you?
Mhm. Well, and I think that that's part of it too. Is that at the end of the day, like, what am I supposed to do? Because I got to be loyal to him. But at the end of the day, that's why he is the way he is.
Yep.
What you should do as a parent, I and this is the hard part about it. Like I'm a ride or die for my kids. You know, if
All
they,
day.
they do something, I'm gonna support them. But at the same
Yes.
time, my job too is I call balls and strikes. If you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. Like I might
Yeah.
not tell you wrong at the in the heat of the argument with the other person, but I will pull your ass aside and like, yo, you was wrong for that, right? That was
Right.
completely
Right.
ridiculous. You was out of order, and you need to make this right. If you do something like what Cody is doing, or like I'm listening to you describe the situation with your ex, and you trying to burn relationships down, the first thing you do is go back to your child and say, look, this is a person, whether you guys get along together or not, especially when you have kids, particularly when you have kids, whether you guys get along together or not, you're going to be in each other's lives forever. So
Right.
you need to
Unfortunately.
figure a way to work shit out so that you guys can sit in a room with each other and be able to go through life and enjoy these kids as they hit their milestones and their events.
Right.
Because otherwise it's gonna be hell on both of you. Because eventually somebody gonna get married, somebody gonna have kids or whatever, and you're gonna want to participate in that. And the last thing you want to do is put your kids in a situation where they got to try to choose between mom and dad and who do I invite to the wedding or the wedding reception or the baby shower or
Right.
graduations or you know what I mean, so on and so forth. So there's a
I mean,
ton of reasons as to why you don't burn these bridges and
right.
go
And I
ham.
mean, I tried as long as I could. And that's why I'm saying from a parent end, I couldn't look at him and be in a relationship with him, knowing the stuff that he was doing to family and even to our own kids. And it
Mhm.
got to a point where I had to make a decision. I had to
Right.
sit my kids down and be like, look, dad got to figure out his life right now. Doesn't mean he hates you, doesn't mean he hates me, but he's a little on the toxic side, and I have to keep you guys safe.
Right.
They were still little, so it wasn't, I mean, yes, it affected them. I'm not going to lie and say it didn't. There were many a nights I was public enemy number one, and whenever they talked to him, of course, it was your mom this, your mom that, and I wrote it out. Now, my daughter is about to be 22 and graduate from college, and she hasn't spoken to that man in 2 years by
Mm,
her choice.
right.
Because now she sees all that he's done, and she's like, that's somebody I just don't want in my life, and that's okay. My
Right.
son, he's getting to that point, but I'm allowing them to get there on their own.
Right.
I'm not putting, the face up front and be like, he's public enemy number one. I let them figure that out. But even as a mother, as a woman, a sister, when my brothers act up, oh, I put them in their place. I let
Right.
them know, like, that's not cool. That's what you shouldn't be doing. I'm not just sitting back and allowing, when you dog out kids, to me, you ain't nothing.
Right. Especially
And
your kids.
y-
Yeah, like, you're dogging
your
out your
kids, my
seed.
kids, them kids, any
You're a
kids,
terrible,
I don't
terrible
care.
person. Well, I'm
And I
saying,
can't
like,
see how she sits back and just allows it. Yeah, we got a little measly, scene in the snow where she tried to act like she gave a damn, but we all know she does. She
right,
hasn't, and I doubt in the future she will. And
right.
it's sad.
Well, because even with that, I would say that you have like when I say your kids, these are Cody's children,
Hmm.
and if you're looking at somebody and they have the audacity to be able to treat their children this way, then that's just merely they're just letting you know who they are.
Right.
And that's what you should be paying attention to. In the same way, like I had said before, like one of the downsides with Robin in this situation is that she didn't support the other sister wives. When Cody was coming to hang out at her house, you should have put his ass out. When he
Yep.
came over to your house and Christine was in the hospital having Truly, if he showed up to your house, you should have turned his ass around on his heels and said, "You need to get your ass back to the hospital."
Of course.
And because these are all choices that I have to make, because I don't think at that point she had actually married Cody. So this is part of the audition, Huss. Like if you this
Yeah.
is how you're treating your wives, then I got a second, I got to take a second look as to whether I want to be a part of this family or not.
Now, real quick, did she say tonight that she didn't check or keep up with his schedule? She, when he was there, he was there. When
Yeah.
he wasn't, she was. She a bold faced freaking lie, a bold faced lie. Because did she tell Mary? Well, I tracked him for about a month, and I noticed he was always at Christine's house. She
Yeah.
full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she I would say she probably wasn't checking. The times that she did check was when Cody was like he probably told her that he was going over to Christine's house. One,
Mm-hmm.
two, she didn't have to check where he was because he was always at her house. So when you
Exactly.
winning, you don't have to keep score. Like you racking it up. So what do you care? Like, oh, I'm not. It's like when you when you go out with your friend and they oh, I got the check. You're not keeping check. You're not counting the tab. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna get what I get. And that's
Right.
where Cody is, and that's where Robin was. Cody was picking up the check. The wives were picking up the check, I guess. And Robin was just like, I'm just ordering the left side of the menu.
The
You
whole
know,
left side, knowing that was the most expensive side. But
right?
thank you, James. I
All right, no
appreciate your
worries.
take. But I gotta get myself to bed. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit, then I'm gonna drift off.
No, I got you. Congratulations on the new gig. Hopefully everything goes well tomorrow.
Oh, thank you.
All
I don't
right.
think too many people gonna like me because it's tax time, and the Internal Revenue Service is always a great place to work, but everybody hates you.
It is what it is. Just don't audit my ass. That's all I would say.
I got you. No worries.
All
Have a
right.
good evening.
You too. Take it easy.
All righty.
All right. Next up to the stage, we got Brittany. Now, Brittany, what's going on, Brittany? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well.
Um, so I'm gonna try to be real quick. So first thing with the whole church baptism situation, um, it's crazy to me how much Cody has evolved just as a parent. Because when Maddie and McKelty and Garrison were wanting to join the LDS church and everything,
Mhm.
Cody was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Do what you want to do." even, last week we were watching how just mean he was to poor little Ari. Like Ari's just, messing with paint and everybody's just yelling at her. When, back in season 2, you got all the kids climbing on the mountaintop and nobody cares except for Robin. And just how much he's evolved to being this helicopter parent, but it's not genuine. You can tell that he's doing it to hurt the other kids. Like he's like, okay, I know they're gonna see this, so let
Mm.
them see me being the father that they wish they had.
Like this super involved dad or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is just so gross to me.
Yeah, I love the kids.
Right. Not them kids that are also mine, but
Right.
these specific kids. These kids. Um, two, TLC really needed to come out. I feel like they really need to come out and in their little blurb at the beginning about Garrison's passing and just said, "Hey, because of Garrison's passing, there's a lot of footage that we had to remove for the sake of the family." Because I think a lot of people just keep forgetting when they keep talking about how like they're not talking about Garrison, is that this is still fresh for them. And a lot of these scenes where they're doing these talking heads, some of them at this point are post Garrison's passing.
Right.
And, they're having to do what's the name? Interviews with people as far as doing promotion for the show. It's it has got to be hard to
Mhm.
see, especially because these last few seasons where Garrison would have been so featured, you can tell that he's really hurt and he's really depressed.
Right.
And knowing how he ended up, to constantly every week see that mood that he was in, that's I'm sorry, that's too much to ask of his parents and his siblings to watch those clips every single week just for us.
Mhm.
That's my personal opinion. I'm sure people don't agree, but that's my personal opinion when it comes to Garrison. It's just like however this grieving family decides they want to handle Garrison's passing is how they want to handle Garrison's passing. TLC, on the other hand, needed to be a little bit more diplomatic about how they addressed it, so that way people could understand where they were coming from without the family constantly getting questioned about why we don't hear about Garrison.
Right. Right. Well, I think that there's a point where, you know, Garrison on one side, I'll say it this way. I'll couch it this way. I think that TLC did themselves and probably the fan base as well as the family a favor by not trying to do it, because historically they've been so ham-fisted with a lot
Hmm.
of the ways that they've handled so many other issues, that
Yes.
if they did try to do it, it probably would have came off extremely clumsy and would have been far more damaging than necessary.
Hmm.
um, on the other side of it, I think that if they did feature Garrison, especially in the last season, season 18, where
Hmm.
he was predominantly featured, he was even featured in the trailers, where he said,
Right.
we no longer need a father. Like
Hmm.
where he was emotionally, and to see that repeatedly, like him lashing out against or speaking out against Cody or speaking out against Robin, I
Hmm.
think that it would have came off like, you clearly he was a young man who was in a lot of jeopardy, was in a lot of pain,
Hmm.
and it would be obvious to us because we know the outcome and we
Right.
know the situation as it is now,
Hmm.
but we would have placed a lot of that blame, I think, on the family members at the time. Like, how come nobody was checking on him when you see he's going through all this? But
Right.
you could say that about the truth of the matter is, if we're going to be all honest, you
Hmm.
could say that about any one of those kids,
Hmm.
any one of them, that we should be like, if as a family, they should be checking on them. Like, and that's why it was so positive for me when I heard that Janelle had actively said that she was really asking her kids how they were
Right.
doing, what's going
Hmm.
on, how are you feeling, tell me everything that's happening with you, not just
Hmm.
letting it go with, hey, how's everything going, it's all right, okay, fine, on to the next subject. So I
Right.
think that that's important.
Yes. And then last thing, and then I'm gonna let you go, and I gotta hop off and also go to sleep because I gotta
Right.
work in the morning. Um, so I loved Christine throwing shade at Robin in the little preview for the what's the name, the tell-alls, when she was like, oh well, we've seen their engagement photos. What more were they doing, or what were they doing more? And it makes me think about, because Robin was very much like, oh, in our faith, you have to have sex with another man before you're considered divorced. And now I want to ask
Right.
Mel and Corey, if Robin got an actual what's the name, the divorce thing, the release, if she got a
Release. Right.
release from her ex, because as far as her marrying Cody, she technically would not be able to marry Cody in the church if she did not have a release. So if you didn't get the release, how were you able to marry old Coldster?
Right. Right.
You had to solidify some things pre-wedding ceremony. So that is my little conspiracy tinfoil hat of, I think, come on, 5 hours. You're driving 5 hours. Y'all are getting it
Right.
in.
Right.
But I also think it was so that way she could officially be divorced from her ex.
Right.
Because she was walking around talking about how chaste her and Cody was way too long. Like that's a one sentence thing. Like, no, yeah, we waited and it was great. But in the first few seasons, she was always talking about how chaste her and Cody was.
Right.
And just like,
Yeah, she's saying it too
no.
much. Well, because I
Yeah.
think that there's I think there's something to it, just in the sense that she spent a lot of time and she was so insistent about, you're not truly divorced until you laid with another man. And it does, like, if you look back on that and the way she said it, and the number of times she said it, and how insistent she was on that topic. Because even Christine, who is like, her grandfather was the prophet. So she would be more tied into a lot of the practices of the church, I would think, than Robin was. I think
Hmm.
she has that same kind of blue blood lineage too, but her father, like Christine, is in the church. He was in the church, born in
Hmm.
born and bred in the church, and she had never heard that. So the fact that Robin is so adamant that this is what happened, it sounds a lot like you were saying, it sounds a lot like justification as to why it was okay and permissible for her to have those type of relationships with Cody.
Yes. I'm seeing that people are saying that she wasn't sealed in the temple.
Okay.
I with the first husband, and now that makes even less sense to me how she was able to marry Cody, because I don't know, their whole religion is just, I'm like, y'all can contradict yourselves all the time. I'm so confused. I don't understand
Mm,
why anybody thinks that this has any sense in the truth. And I'm typically a person who is just like, everybody believe what you want to believe. And I do believe that. I'm just like, this belief makes no sense to me. There's no logic to it. But if she wasn't sealed, then I guess it didn't matter if she was in the backseat with Cody anyway. But she
right.
was definitely back there.
Right. Right.
I hold to that point. She was in the backseat with Cody pre-marriage.
Yeah, I think she was knocking him down.
Hmm.
I think it's a
Absolutely.
thing.
Yes. But I'm gonna let you go.
All right.
And love the show as always. Love seeing everybody in the chat. So I'm about to hop off. But
All right. Thank
y'all
you.
have a good night.
You too. Take it easy.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right. We got a couple super chats. We got thank you so much, Brittany, not Brittany. But we have Charlie Patton down in our super chat. Timeline fit for Big G telling Cody about moving. Did the timeline fit? Did the timeline fit? Not really, because he passed in March and Janelle didn't buy the property until April. So she didn't buy the property until a month after Big G's passed. So there's that. But That would be spicy. Cindy from Oz, 799 super chat. Maybe the OG3 are not filming a lot to get the show canceled since Cody and Robin stole the family funds. Cody and Robin will go bust without the show. This is true. This is true. It would be sinister for them to do that. And I think that it would be actually more diabolical if they were able to film more and overshadow Cody and Robin's experience or contribution, so much so that they were removed from the show. That would hurt them more. Like, because I know it's killing Cody that Christine and Janelle were doing interviews with People Magazine and ET and different places, and they were doing podcasts, and they weren't being invited to do these things. Like, I know that's burning them up. So that's just my two. But thank you so much for the super chat, Cindy from Oz, the Latin down under. Uh, Addie's Real Tea, $1.99 super chat. These cults do not deal with mental illness, sadly. This is true because if you deal with mental illness, then you'd have to deal with mental preparedness. And part of the problem with dealing with people who are emotionally stable and emotionally put together, and especially if they're attentive to their mental health, then it becomes harder for you to be able to convince them of the things you need to convince them of so that you can take advantage of them later on. Like you would actually, if you focused on mental health, you would actively be eliminating a lot of your tools that you would later use to manipulate them within the cult. So that's a very good point. Yeah. Yeah, it would be counterintuitive for them to worry about, like, are you feeling okay? Like, no, you want them feeling jacked up. You want these women arguing with each other and disagreeing and feeling bad for themselves and feeling insecure and feeling like they're not enough and feeling like they need to do more. Feel like it's a normal thing that your husband hands you a piece of paper with a list of things that you need to do to improve on yourself so that he can find favor and time with you. That's a normal thing. And the only way that works is if you start to challenge some of their mental health and some of their stability. So I agree. I agree. But let me give you guys a little something. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you. Next up to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, we have Christy. What's going on, Christy?
Hi, James.
How are you?
Good. The first thing I wanted to say when you were talking about the baptism and how strange that is that Cody would be allowed to baptize Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's forgotten, for those who watch Seeking Sister Wives, old Garrett Merrifield, he was able to baptize his new Brazilian quote unquote bride, conquest, idiot, whatever,
Right.
in the water at the end of the last season's teaser. So, hey, I guess if all's fair.
Yeah. But Garrett, it was never a benchmark of faith for me. Like that dude is hokey. Like he's, I don't know,
Oh,
not
I
one of my
know.
favorite people.
No, I don't think you'd find anybody who would say that. No, I was just thought that was funny. I really
Yeah.
am not serious about that. And this whole episode tonight, I am feeling so weird. I'm feeling like I've woken up from a disturbing dream and I can't shake it. The whole vibe about this episode, that it was just really off.
Mm.
It really was. And Robin, oh my Lord, what was up with her? She was having a hard time even lying, and I'm surprised because she's so good at it, or practiced at it. I don't know that she's good at it, but
Mm.
she, about the time, her little comment about the time Cody spent at each house, oh, she never paid attention. Like, it never occurred to her that he was over at her house a disproportionate amount of time or anything like that. And just the look on her face. But I loved how she stuttered about, well, she helped out so much financially, I'm assuming, at the beginning, and she doesn't understand why you know, anybody would want money back because it was all so fair and she helped a lot. Well, yeah, maybe she donated her paycheck, part of it from TLC. But gee, nobody ever did anything for Robin with her $32,000 in debt or renting her a house before they were married or anything like that. And as far as I remember, since she joined the family, even pre marriage, and moved to Lehigh, she's the only one that never brought in any additional income other than the TLC money. All the other wives did bring in additional money at one time or another or consistently. So I find it really hard to believe that she helped so much
Right.
financially with the family. That I thought, what is she? I mean, you could tell she couldn't even believe she was saying that because she really stumbled over her words and she looked very sheepish and it was just ridiculous. And the one last thing, when you were talking about how somebody in Australia that gets the different cut of the show was talking about Janelle having the conversation with Mary, and it was mentioned to Mary from Janelle that she wanted Cody to remove his name from her personal bank account and
Mhm.
asked him, okay, if Janelle is supposed to be such a financial genius, why would she even worry about it? You know, like you said, I thought everybody knows if you have a bank account, doesn't matter how many names are on it. If you want to close that sucker out, you close it out, you take the money and you open one up in your name.
Right.
And that's it. Was she just trying to be nice? Why would you alert him that you wanted, knowing how he is, that you would want his name off the account? Because that would just give him time to dip in, take the funds, and you're out everything. I
Right.
just can't
Right.
believe after what she went through in the scene you were talking about being invested with the characters, about how she's sitting there after the fight. I have nothing. Then what was she thinking? This was a long time after that fight. What was she thinking? Why
Right.
was she being, she already has said so many times she was dumb financially. This, for somebody who's smart, that was really dumb. I don't know why I was so dumb, etc., etc. But then this, what is, I don't get it. It's like
Well,
they just can't believe Cody is showing them that she just can't believe it. And this whole, that added on to this whole weirdness. I don't know if anybody else got that, but the whole episode just seemed weird. Oh, and the
right.
one last thing, the previews for the tell all. I can't wait for the one scene, and it will probably be the last scene of the last episode of the tell alls. You know how they do. When Cody's yelling at Suki when she was asking him about his
His
experience.
relations or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that threw that in there with no context that didn't even belong. It could have just stayed to himself. Nobody asked him anything. It didn't come out organically. He just kind of had to throw that out there. And now he's insulted if he's asked about it. Are you
Right.
kidding me? I would lift his chair and dump him on the floor and say, we're done. That that is so, I don't know. I feel like everybody is losing their minds. I mean, he's
Yeah.
always struck me that way, but it's just, it's so weird. And I don't get Janelle. I don't get it. Hopefully she's learned a little bit by now, because I know it's a little bit behind, but I'm just I'm just not getting what's going on. I feel lost. And this is somebody who's never missed one episode since the very first episode of the first season. And
Right.
I don't know what I'm watching anymore. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
But
that the show has lost kind of direction. So it's not a
yeah.
wonder that you're a little confused because they don't really have a story arc that they're pursuing. They're just kind of walking into a situation, and it's not that they're shooting their lives; they're just shooting situations.
Hmm.
So they present a situation. Oh, I'm going to go to church. Let's film that. I'm going to go move to a different city. Let's film that. But it's not in the context of anything else. So it doesn't have root to any feeling that the audience would have or be a connection that the audience would make. So that's part of the reason why I think that it's such a weak uh the way things are coming off now. There's a disconnect between the audience and a lot of the characters on the show, or a lot of the personalities on the show. I'll say it that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does kind of put it in perspective for me because it's just like no continuation of a story. Like this week we're doing this and then we're looking forward to finishing up the next week. And it's just like you said, one event, one situation, and it's all just scattered around the place. And it's like, okay, just like with Cody coming out with his big revelation about his college days. Where did that come from? I mean, that had no context at all with anything that was going on or anything that had been being talked about. And it just
Mhm.
seems like every episode is becoming more and more like that. But tonight, I don't know, it was just odd.
Right.
So that's my rant for the night. Because we're getting a hiatus and it's gonna be what, at least 2 weeks before it comes back, and I've got to get it out because this is my last chance to
That's right. Well,
rant.
we'll be here next week, so you'll be fine.
Well, that's easy for you to say. Okay, well, I'm sorry to go on and just be crazy, but I'm just fitting in with the whole mood of the episode as far as I'm concerned.
No, it's no worries. No worries. Thank you for calling in. Appreciate you.
Okay, have a good night.
You
Thanks.
too. Bye. All right. Next up, we have Mary J. What's going on, Mary?
Ooh, hello.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you're
Um,
fine.
oh gosh. You know, I started watching this in the very beginning and I thought, okay, I'll listen to what you people have to say about polygamy being such a great system.
Hmm.
And all I can say is all they have done is proven how bad it really is.
Right.
They've proven the truth about how terrible it is. They have been lying to us from the beginning. They've been cheating the system, you know. They didn't give any mention about being on food stamps or, public assistance when they were. And that was my thinking early on. How can this be? How can this man support this entire big family?
Right.
I came from a family of 9, and I'll tell you, that was hard on my parents. And it's ridiculous what they were trying to sell us. Um, the other thing I'd like to say is that Cody and Robin, they were made for each other. They actually, I think, getting together actually did the other wives a favor because it told them who they really are, and
Right.
so they can move on and create wonderful lives without the bullshit from Cody and Robin and the
Hmm.
lying and the stealing. um I seem to recall an episode. I don't know what season it was. I want to say it was shortly after the move to Flagstaff, but but before, I think it was before Cody was off the mortgage with Christine on her house in Flagstaff.
Hmm.
But I seem to recall an episode where Christine talked with Janelle and told Janelle how unhappy she was. It wasn't really a secret by that point either, because of the stuff that she and Cody had gone through while still in Nevada. Um, and but anyway, she confided in Janelle and told Janelle she wanted to leave. And Janelle scolded her and said, "Don't you do anything until you prepare yourself financially."
Hmm.
And Christine, I think she heeded her words, because, we all know when she did leave, she was in a good position to leave, and swapping the house for the land set her free.
Right.
Cody had nothing on her anymore. And it surprised me that Janelle didn't take her own advice.
Right.
And what a shame, because Janelle is smarter than that, in my opinion, or was. But I think she believed her own, maybe self talk or something, that her relationship, that each wife's relationship with Cody was unique, and their relationship. Do you know what I mean? And it's
Right.
like she gave herself permission to sacrifice everything. I mean, my understanding is she cashed out her 401k or something in order to make the move from Utah to Nevada,
Right.
and so she really left herself with nothing. And what a terrible shame, terrible. And
Yeah.
and Cody, shame on him. But you're right that there's really nothing much left of this show. You know, they initially they tried to prove what a great system it is, and they've done the opposite. So what's left?
Right. Right.
Really,
Well,
all it is, who's moving on and making something of their lives. And that's certainly not Cody and Robin, you
right.
know?
Right.
You
Well, I mean,
know,
it's
I
not if they're not going to show anything, there's no point in you being on the show. And
exactly.
I think that even with regard to Janelle, I think part of her struggle was the fact that one, sometimes it's easier to give advice than to follow your own advice. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
two,
true.
I think that there's also a additional complication where I think Janelle felt more secure in her relationship with Cody than Christine did. And so she might have entered in with the mindset that Cody would never do this to me.
Yeah.
He might do this to them. He might treat them bad, but he sees me as more of an equal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because I
Yeah.
think that's how they presented it early on. And Janelle was almost like his buddy or his
Right.
bro.
Right.
You know, and that kind of upset Janelle a little bit when he said it. But I think that she thought that she was closer to Cody or closer tied to Cody than she actually was.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles, you know. And this is also goes back to what like Carmel Cuties was saying earlier with seeing how people treat people. It's not just how people treat you, but how people treat the other people around you. So if he's going to mistreat Christine or Mary, then there's no reason why he won't get around to you. It's just not your turn yet. He
Right.
has it in him to do it.
Right.
It's just not your turn.
Right.
And
You're
so,
right. Yep, they were all fish in a barrel.
yeah, yeah,
Um, did I don't know if this is just tonight, but when the show opened, and you know how it has like the Sister Wives thing on the screen, the logo, and it shows the rings all together. And for the first time, I noticed the rings fell.
Yeah, they did that all season.
Oh, they did. I didn't
Yeah,
notice
yeah.
it before tonight. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, last season it was one ring fell off, and then this season is off. Oh, well, it was season 6, 17, maybe 17, 18. One ring fell. And
Yeah,
as he started losing wives, and the rings started dropping. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's a
The
monogamous now.
Yeah, yeah. And then the only other thing I wanted to say, well, actually a couple, just a comment. Yeah, Cody has 18 kids when it's convenient,
Right, right.
you know. And oh, what was the other thing? Oh shoot. I don't remember. So I'll let you go.
I
I love you,
appreciate it.
James.
Thank you so much.
Love your channel.
Thanks. I'm
Um,
glad you called in, and I enjoyed your phone call talking
I
to you.
finally figured out how to get things working. I have a MacBook Pro, and I couldn't get the camera turned on using Chrome, and
Well,
so I
okay.
switched to Firefox, and that did it.
Yeah, the Chrome, like, cause I run Macs too, and the Chrome is like you have to go into the settings and relaunch. It's a
Oh
whole
yeah,
bunch of stuff.
pain
Yeah, it's
in the
crazy.
fanny. Yes, big
Yes, yes,
time. Yeah.
yeah. But I appreciate you.
So
You made it. You made it tonight. So I appreciate
finally,
you.
yeah. So thank you for all you
Thank
do,
you.
and love your audience as well.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, they're great. They're great.
everybody's great. Yeah.
But
Okay.
thanks for calling in.
Have a good one.
You too. The one thing I will say that she mentioned, and Mary J mentioned, that I totally agree with. It's funny to me that, because it always kind of tickles me that Cody will be like, "Oh, I have 18 kids, and I got 18 kids to think about," forgetting the fact that it's not like he had 18 kids with some other women. You're talking about the women you have kids with. Like, so you have 18 kids, yeah, but 6 of them were Christine's. You have 18 kids, but 6 of them were Janelle's. So when you say, and they know that you weren't spending money on them. So when you say, I have 18 kids, they know that at least 12 of them you haven't spent a nickel on for sure. And they suspect that you probably aren't spending any money on Mary's child either. So that's 13. So the only 5 left are Robin's kids. So you technically have 5 kids. So there's that. But then we're gonna move on to an interesting named person. Okay, and they dropped off. Timothy dropped off. It is what it is. Timothy, if you want to call back, you can. I was about to get to you. But Renee Simpson, what's going on? How are you?
Oh, James, you's on fire tonight, boy. You on fire tonight.
How you
And
doing?
I'm finding everything you saying is so true.
Oh, thank you.
I want to say a couple of things that I'm gonna get off. I grew up in the Baptist church. And I was baptized in the Baptist church, and I don't know if any other church do this. The only person I know that go in the water with the person is the pastor or maybe the associate pastor.
Right.
What got me was when they asked Aurora why she wanted to join the church, and she came up with a silly answer. And I was thinking that when a person get baptized, I got baptized, and they asked me why I wanted to get baptized, and I said I wanted a relationship with God and get to know the Word. You understand what I'm saying? She
Mm-hmm.
didn't say that, so that let me know that she really didn't know too much about church. What also got me concerned was when Cody and Robin was trying to tell them about church, which means Cody and Robin have left their church, so they're gonna follow these two girls into a church to keep an eye on them or what they gonna learn and what they gonna do. That's what it seems to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember Janelle said they drunk wine and beer. Mary told a lie. Mary said that she ain't never had a shot. That was a lie. You remember when Mary went to the bar with her daughter and her daughter girlfriend?
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
She was drinking some liquor then, and it wasn't no wine and it wasn't no beer.
Right.
So we don't call Mary a lie. Okay. Also, back on another creator's thing, they were sent a picture where Cody was buying groceries and he was outside his car putting the groceries in the car. It wasn't no groceries. It was one, two, three, four, five, six. It was 6 packs of beer.
Mm,
12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Okay? So that
mm.
let me know he's a good drinker.
So either he was having a crazy party
Huh?
or homeboy getting down. He's
That's why
stacking up.
that's why I said that's why Robin wouldn't let the people come in and film her house, because I believe both of them wasn't nothing but drunkards.
Mm, mm,
I do believe that. Now, another thing that came to mind was, and I do believe what that other lady said. Whoever told Cody, okay, I'm gonna say allegedly, so nothing won't happen to you. I believe it was McKelty. McKelty is just like her daddy. She never ever gave her mama that support. That's
mm.
how I feel.
Okay.
Okay, another thing is this. Well, Christine, when she got ready to leave, she made sure that everything was in her name. Cody did not know that when Christine sold her house, Cody thought that Christine was going to divide the money with him. Christine said, "Oh, hell no. I
Right.
paid the mortgage. I'm taking everything." That's what made Cody real, real mad, because she did not share the sale with him. All of a sudden, Christine got to be a low down this, a low down that, low down this. Remember, everybody was saying, well, why they didn't leave. Christine came out and said it. She said, we was brainwashed. Christine said it. We were
Right.
brainwashed. Janelle, I think what finally, Cody tried to keep Janelle around, because you got to remember this. Janelle was a working woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they got most of their income, was from Janelle and Mary, because she had that little spot of her mama's. But Janelle was a working woman. I think what really turned Janelle to really walk away is when Janelle loves her kids. She
Mm.
loves her boys. It's when Cody was trying to get her to put her boys out and to not have any contact with her kids. And she said, I'm not going to leave my kids out here.
Right.
Okay. Another thing, too, what got me when they was talking about the church. Did you see Cody trying to cry? He didn't cry when the girl, his first daughter, had to go to operation in New Jersey. Didn't share a tear. Truly almost died. Didn't share a tear.
Right. Right. Looked
But
annoyed actually
but
talking about it.
but he said, why couldn't she go by herself?
Right.
But everything that Aurora and that other girl do, he makes a big production. He cried when she was talking about getting baptized. He almost shed a little tear when she went to get her ears pierced.
Right.
And he never went to his other daughters to have their ears pierced. He didn't know when they had their ears pierced. Let him tell it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason why they didn't bring Garrison up, I think that's a touchy subject still for Janelle.
Yeah. That makes sense though. In fairness to her, that does make
Right.
sense. I
That's
would.
a that's a
Yeah.
because you know what? She kept asking her boys, "Are you all right? Are y'all all right? Are you all right?" And they kept telling her, "Yes, they was." She thought it was Gabe that was the one that was going through the depression, not knowing it was Garrison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you remember she talked to Gabe about going to see somebody, but it wasn't Gabe. It was Garrison.
Right. Right.
Okay. And I'm gonna get off because I know you're tired. I'm tired too. What got me also was this was that Co- Cody and Robin. Robin designed that ugly ass jewelry. That's why Christine said she didn't like hers. And I do believe that Robin and Cody was sleeping around before they got married.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody said. I do believe that because Robin wanted the bag, and she had to do anything she could to get in that family. But y'all need to remember, she makes me sick when she say, "Well, I manage my money." You a lie, because when you came into the family, you was broke and you was in debt, and
Right.
those three women helped you get out of debt because they had to get you out of debt before they could buy their homes in Las Vegas.
Right.
So I'm glad that the show is over. I do wish that it do come back with maybe Mary, Janelle, and Christine. That would really, really make Cody mad. And another thing that I'm gonna let you go. Everybody wonder about the money. Do you remember when Christine said when she found out that she was gonna leave Cody, she was done with Cody?
Hmm.
Christine went to TLC and told them, separate my money.
Right.
Pay me I want my own check. And Janelle did the same thing. I want my own check. That's all I want to say.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate you. You have a great night.
Same to you. Bye bye.
All right. Fantastico. Next up, we got our Raider Ma in the house. What's going on, Raider Ma?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well.
Well, I am sure that they did it before for only one reason. I'm still hung up on the fraud thing about him having relations and not saying it. I'm not a believer, but if I was, I can see how offended I would be by that. Like, sacrifice my
Mm,
eternal salvation or getting your pencil wet?
right.
That's not cool. So I think that if you already went to it, there's no salvation. Of course, they will have had sex beforehand. What else is stopping them?
Right. Right. Well, I mean, plus you
And that
got a
was my
lot
opinion.
now, so it makes sense.
And another thing is like I don't understand why we haven't seen anything about Big G, but we had to hear about Robin's stepdad passing. We didn't hear much about Mary's mom, that was a big character, or Janelle's mom, even nothing at all on their passing. But then we had to have like half of episode about that guy that could barely make a table. Like I did not
Right.
appreciate that.
Well, they hungry for storylines at this point. And I think that like Robin's relationship with her dad was a way to try to connect her with the audience, to humanize her. And so I think that they rolled the dad and that's the whole storyline out to try to make I'll say you guys because I don't think they care about what I think, but they try to pull you guys into like that daughter love fest that they tried to make that connection for. But I don't think it worked because you lose a lot of folks. And I know they lost me when they were like, this is a relationship with my dad because I was really close with him. But he used to hang out with his wife Monday through Friday. He used to come by and knock off my mama on the weekends. Like,
That is side chick energy.
right, right. Like, ooh, that
But
wasn't a positive relationship.
and what I was saying about the penance is if you notice, all of them at some point did him wrong. Mary was a pain before and after. Janelle stayed behind for a few years someplace else. I think
Hmm.
she did that. So it almost seems like it was show me your love, give me your money.
Right.
That's his language. They know he wants the money. So how do I show him that I'm committed to this madness and I'm not going anywhere? I'll give you all my money.
I agree. I agree. Good point. Because he is very it does seem like a lot of the charge that he has, a lot of the anger and anguish is all rooted in the loss of funds that he was receiving from his involvement with the wives. So, and I think that that's also one of the things that dehumanizes him, his emotions and the things that he's going through, is because I don't see the connection that he's having with losing these women in his life. What I see is a guy who's mad that he's not getting checks anymore and he can't take advantage of them the way he was. So,
And he no longer has the kids to use against them or to
mhm.
play his. It's the attention. He's not getting the attention either. So no money, no attention. He's dying.
Right, right. It's killing them on the inside.
Yes. But thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening. And Brittany, not Brittany, Kathy, Farhan, all of you girls. Love you all.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. Appreciate you. Have a good one. This is the second time you were on today. I saw you
I
earlier.
know.
Right. Thanks for hanging tough. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Awesome. We got three more. Rise, what's going on?
Hello. Okay, I'm going back. I no, I'm gonna go forward here. Okay, so with Garrison,
Mhm.
um, I was watching a thing on Without a Crystal Ball, and she had
Right.
the police report in the video, and it just makes me more angry at Cody. They called him to tell him, not only did they that they called him the night before. Garrison called, I mean, not called him, texted him. And he didn't think something was off because he hadn't spoken to him in months. I mean, maybe a year. They just said that they hadn't spoken to him. That would have that triggered the mother. That triggered Janelle. And
Hmm.
Janelle texted him and asked him was he okay, and he wasn't. And I was like, oh my gosh, how can he wake up every morning and be okay with that? And how can he go about his
Right.
business hugging on I mean, and this is not anything taken away from Robin's kids. But how can you hug on somebody else's kids and you're not even taking care of your own? He knew that that boy had mental health issues. They it, Janelle said that Janelle knew. Um, um, the morning of, that's why they told what's his name? His younger brother.
Gabriel?
Gabriel to go over there because they didn't want the mother, Janelle, nor the youngest daughter to find him. The oldest son knew something was wrong, something was off. And I was like, oh my gosh, how can Cody get up every morning?
Hmm.
I mean, that would bug the mess out of me if my child passed away and I didn't give no effort to get in contact with him. I don't care if we were on bad terms. I mean, you just pick up the phone and say, "What's up?" or something. You don't have. I mean, anything would have been better than nothing.
Right.
I, I
Right.
don't know. It's just me. And then going back to Cody, like everybody else said, Cody was sleeping with Robin before they got married. They were doing something
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was that was just terrible. I mean, and Christine knew it. That's why Christine never got along with her. Christine knew what type of woman she was. And then
Well, I
now,
mean,
go
it
ahead.
wasn't much of a secret though. Like anytime a dude is sitting on your bed crying because he can't hang out with you and he
I
just left
know.
you, like, yeah, yeah.
And
He
and
might as
on,
well just came and said, I miss her. I want her.
I mean, who
She's
does that?
amazing.
Who does? I mean, I don't know. And then on top of that, um, on the next episode, I'm gonna say poor. Oh gosh, I'm getting old. Poor. God, what's her name? Jan.
Janelle?
Not Janelle. The other one,
Mary?
Mary. Now she's realizing, oh, maybe Robin wasn't her friend. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you really
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, did you see that one? Did you?
Yeah, it's a preview for what's coming up in the season. But yeah. Yeah.
And,
Well, I mean, I think that it might have took Mary a long time because she would have to acknowledge a lot of different things. Like one,
that
she would
she
have to
played.
acknowledge that she brought that into the family. Two, she'd have to acknowledge that she was duped and she was fooled. Three, she'd have to acknowledge that the last 15 years of her life was a lie,
Yep.
and
And
so
technically, she
it's a
didn't
hard
bring her
pill.
into the house. She was used in
Hmm.
because they knew each other before Mary came along. They just played her.
Right.
I mean, oh my gosh, and she's just and see, I was on her website. I mean, I was trying to get her to answer. Hey, Mary, did you realize did and I know she saw it at least once. but she would not respond. And I'm like,
Right.
because but now I know she knows because the next preview, she's gonna mention it. I'm like,
Right. Right.
I don't know, but they need to stop chopping this up. If they don't have something to go in between, they just need to say on this date, blah blah blah, and that move on from there. Um, was it Christine and Janelle's in Utah at the bottom, and go on from there on this date because now they jump from um, Cody and Robin, and then they jumped what 6 months or so on with Gillette, Janelle moving. I'm like, this is some weird stuff going on here. I hope
Yeah.
next week is better.
Yeah. Well, I think they're off for 2 weeks. I want to say they're off for the next 2 weeks. But
Did you
I,
see how Cody's acting at the tell-all?
yeah, yeah. Well, it's like I said, the tell might be spicy because I think Suki's going to get a little bit of. I'm hoping they give her a little more free range
I
and they
hope.
allow her to be herself.
Oh, and Mary did say last weekend, last Friday, that she didn't know Cody was talking something about her. So don't jump down her throat because she didn't know. They didn't tell her. So something happened. I guess when Cody was talking mess about her friends, she didn't know about it until
Right.
recently. So she did say don't jump down her throat because she didn't know.
Because they shot it earlier. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't tell her, and I'm wondering why they didn't tell her everything. They tell Cody everything. I don't know. This is some. I can't wait for
Well,
the season.
I think that's part of the contract that they have for
That he
Cody.
knows
Like I
for
think
them.
that's the way he participates in the show. So he has to know what's coming down the pike because he doesn't want to look bad.
But
So he wants to know what people are saying.
I thought they had another contract. I thought they all got the individual contracts now. So the
Well, because it would also depend on like even with an individual contract, Cody might have a stipulation in his contract that he wants to know what the other people are saying, or he wants to preview what's
wow,
going to be aired as far as interviews, like selected interviews or couch conversations, so that he can respond to those conversations in kind. So that way he's not, it gives him an
blindsided.
opportunity to try to clean up some of the accusations that the other wives might make. There's who is it? Dwayne Johnson, Dwayne the
Mhm.
Rock Johnson, Vin Diesel. They have like stipulations in their contracts where they can't lose
Oh,
any
really?
fights in their movies. Yeah, so that's why you never see them get beat up in their movies or take too many shots in their movies. Every fight has to, even if there's like they're in a movie together, the fight has to end in a draw, but they can't ever lose a fight. So I think that Cody taking that and like kind of in that same vein, I think Cody is maybe made a stipulation in his contract that anytime these ladies do an interview and his name comes up, he gets to see what they're talking about and he has an opportunity to respond to it.
And
Yeah.
Robin, OMG, she's saying, well, basically, none of them did their money right. Of course, none of them did their money better than her. But then they all need to keep her name out their mouths.
Mm,
Really? Uh huh. Uh huh. I'm not confrontational, but I think I would have sit on the porch waiting for her to come home.
right,
Because
right,
me and you can have a nice little talk. Nothing physical, but we're going to talk about this.
right, right.
And
At
when you
minimum,
get
you
in
get
front
cussed out. Yeah, I got you.
we're gonna we're gonna if like her and Christine, that book, when Christine's book come out, they're gonna be some mad souls coming up.
right,
'Cause that's
right.
Christine's gonna tell everything. I think that's gonna end the basically end the series.
It could do it potentially. It could be the close of the thing. It could close
Yep,
it out.
in September. I think that's gonna be the ending because if she tells all, that's gonna be great.
Right.
I'm gonna get the book. All right, I know you have to go.
All right. Well, thanks
Okay,
for calling in. I appreciate you.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, next up we got wait, hold on 1 second, just make sure I got everything. Okay. Next up we got Kitty. Kitty, what's going on?
Hey, nothing much. How are you, James?
Doing well.
All right. Sorry, I'm on my iPad because my computer because I don't have Prime. So
That's
my
fine.
my iPad is the only thing that works. Anyway, I have a couple things. First things first, when David and Christine took Janelle to a bar, he is very smart for giving her a sugary drink, because if it was me, I would have given her the 5-shot liquor shot in a 2-ounce shot glass. Okay, pardon my French, because this is part of the name of it. Okay, it's called Mountain Berry Fucker, and it will fuck you up.
Well, Janelle was doing all right. She was
Yeah.
jacked up, so that might have took her out of here.
One shot of that, and she would have been done anyway. Anyway, second point is I am so tired of Robin and Cody saying bad shit about Janelle. It is unbelievable, especially when it came to the finances stuff, because Janelle didn't do half of the shit that they've done.
Right.
And I find that was absolutely despicable. And I've noticed that a lot of the other, like, the storylines of, like, the kids' baptism, Mary's baker / cooker having retirement, I think all that is just a distraction from actually for us to finding out what was going on in the financials.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of pissed me off. Another thing that I find that was absolutely stupid was the fact that I know that Robin lied. There is no way around that. She lied. She lied about everything, including the fucking fact that, you know, from the time that she had her divorce to now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So those are that's my little hot takes on that.
No. I appreciate it. I think that the dishonesty from Robin is no longer a surprise and is almost expected. So anything she says, like I don't even pretend like there's a possibility that it could be accurate or true. I just approach everything she says and I look more or less, and maybe this is a downside on my part, but I look at it and I say, okay, where's the lie? You know, where's the dishonesty? Where's the mistruth or the missed opportunity to tell the truth? Because everything she says doesn't make sense. Like I said, with Mary, I didn't really pick up on Mary. Like her name just escaped me, but she pulled it out and she said, yeah, she was taking shots with her daughter. I do remember her taking shots with her daughter when she was in Boston. Okay. I didn't really think about Mary, but when Robin said that, I clued right in on the fact that she was like, "Oh yeah, I never had a drink in a bar. I never took a shot in a bar. I never did that in a bar. Why would I drink in a bar? That just means you never went to a bar. But you could be standing around a campfire taking shots. You could be on your kitchen, you know, on your kitchen floor. Maybe that's why she was sitting on the bathroom floor in that house back in the first episode crying and shit, because she what we didn't see is the full frame where she have an empty bottle of Jack sitting in the tub. So, you know, I'm just saying, like
God. I mean, you know what? If I was any of the other OG3, I would have been drunk every day listening to Robin and her bullshit.
Right.
Sorry.
How are you how are you sober? That would have been the whole thing. So
yeah, that's about it. I was so freaking pissed when she was saying that.
Yeah.
But like when I saw the bar scene, I was like, damn it, I need a shot. And I was like thinking of that 5, because it was actually from my older kids' dad, actually gave me that particular shot. Oh,
Mm.
and whoo, it had Zambuca in it, Kahlua, like Bailey's, some kind of tequila. Like, come on.
Right, right. What are we doing? Yeah, right. What are we
Yeah.
doing with our life? You're making life choices with that kind of drink.
Oh God, yeah. But you know what though? It goes smooth. It goes real smooth. But I thought I would let you guys know, and I thought, well, you know what? I should put my 2 cents in. If I was there with them, I probably said, no. We're not doing these little child shots. We're not doing these child shots. We're gonna do a real man shot. Come on.
That's all right. Janelle needed the training wheels. She wasn't ready. She was not ready.
Yeah.
Especially she took a sip of buttery nipple and she talking about she can't feel her legs. She would not survive. She was not surviving a real night out with the girls.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But no, that I think I might have to go with that again one day with my friends and just go, no, we're not gonna do these pussy shots. We're gonna do a real man shot. Come on.
Right. Just make sure you have a designated driver and you'll be all good. That's
Yeah.
Drive safe. That's all.
Oh no. I wouldn't be driving at all. I'd be grabbing that Uber.
There you go. There you go. Save yourself some time, money, and aggravation.
Damn right. All right. I'll see y'all later.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night. Awesomeness. All right, guys. I appreciate you. We have one more call. Lady of the evening, Betty, come on up. What's going on,
girl,
Betty?
how you doing, sweetie? I promise I'll hurry because I get long-winded. Well, tonight was actually the first time I noticed that it's on the credits as they're introducing them that it actually said Robin's husband. I never know. It may have been there before, but I never noticed it. And I was like, "Ooh, I bet he feels emasculated. He's been reduced to Robin's husband."
Oh, he might have insisted on it. Yeah, he wants to put that claim on it. You know what I mean? I'm Robin's husband. Don't get it twisted. Don't be talking to my lady.
Right, I'm Robin's husband. Robin something. I don't know about husband, but he's heard something or other. Then, like with Puddle Monkey, I wonder if they're going down a slippery slope when you're doing the religion. Like we're not talking about like a lifestyle. When you start involving baptisms, that's very sacred to a lot of us folks, especially Southern folks like me. We don't play when it comes to your Christianity. That's your soul you're talking about.
Right.
And Lord knows I got enough marks on my own. I don't need to add no more.
Right.
Like if I'm afraid right now if I got baptized, I might make that water sizzle.
Right.
Doesn't mean I don't have faith. I'm just worried about it.
Right. Boy, you and the preacher, right?
Yeah, that preacher might be like, we ain't stepping in there. He might come in there with some waist height and saying, girl, we gonna be redeemed up in here.
Right.
But like I'm not making fun of religion. That's just really how I feel sometimes. I get scared of my soul. I'm like, Lord, can you give me a pass this time? Not that I don't ever do anything really, really bad. I'm just like, when I lose my temper in traffic, I give them the California howdy, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I do wonder now what your opinion would be. I think Christine and Cody's trying, but I think Christine's playing the long game. When I say that, I mean like she's dropping more and more little tidbits. Now we know her book's coming out, and clearly this was filmed before the book release.
Right.
So she's dropping interesting little tidbits, just like the little comments passive aggressively. Cody, on the other hand, slime ball that he is trying to figure out a way to make another paycheck, and if slime's going to be the way to do it, I think he's more than willing to do that because this is the second time he's made sexual innuendos. Like anybody would care where he puts his little whack-a-mole.
Right.
I mean, like seriously, like coming out of the shower and I'm doing, why in the hell? I mean, I've been married 40 years and I wouldn't. I'm more likely to tell my husband, girl, please put a towel on and get your ass some clothes on. And same for me. He'd be like, can you stretch them wrinkles a little bit? I'm just saying.
Right.
But he's making more and more and more sexual. And then at the end of it, when he does it, well, we're not going to talk about that. Well, you're the one who brought it up.
Right.
It would not surprise me to see if he's trying to play a long game and trying to get his own show. him and Robin and like just to kind of poke to see what interest and what the feedback would be. Are people really that interested in his personal life that maybe Puddle Monkey would offer him his own show?
Right. Well,
And
I
I
mean,
really don't
I
think
think
they
that
would, but
they've been trying to pitch it for a while. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that, like, to be honest with you, I've said this before, a little controversial, but I've said this before. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you found out that Robin and Cody had approached TLC in the first season of Sister Wives about the two of them getting their own show. Because even the way that they presented this show originally was presented as a love story between Robin and Cody. And if anything, the OG3 were supposed to be the foils to that love. But through miscalculation and a little Hollywood magic, I think most of the audience identified with the OG3 more than they identified with Cody or Robin. And that's where the shift came in as far as popularity. Because you listen to the cutesy stories that Robin told in the first season, all the thoughts and opinions and everything she had about how to approach marriages and relationships. She was all over the place. She was giving her opinion all the time. So I think that this was supposed to be her show and Cody's show from the beginning. So do I think Cody is trying to make himself seem more appealing now so he can get a show? Absolutely. Absolutely. I
yeah,
100% agree with that.
I believe it. It's just I don't think the interest would be there. The
No.
same as like the drinking thing. It's like, really? Does anybody believe? And if you do, I'd be shocked that Robin didn't drink. I mean, you can even go back to where they were showing just what last season, her God forbid breakdancing. Now, I'm sorry, back in the day, they didn't have the YouTube where you can find it like it is, or even Google.
Right.
So, living where she lived, there's no way she didn't understand like doing that without being able to go out into the bar scene. And does anybody believe that she went to like with David and said, I don't know what happened. He just fell into the hootenanny and bam.
Right.
It was just there. Like bullshit.
Right.
She was pregnant before she ever got to that point.
Right.
And I don't think it was a one-time thing.
Well, she was also out like, and here's the thing. Like, I know in their religion it might be a little more frowned upon, but in the regular world, the fact that you turn 18, you go off to college, you're going to experiment with different things. I would be surprised if she wasn't out drinking or didn't try to drink a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised about that. I wasn't surprised when you find out that she was pregnant before she got married. I wasn't surprised with that. It doesn't turn me off. It doesn't make me feel any kind of way about you negatively. But the way they try to present themselves, where the negative feelings do come in, is when you try to put yourself up on a pedestal. And not only are you putting yourself on a pedestal where you're better than everybody else, but then you try to stand on that pedestal and look down on everybody else, like everybody else is jacked up, messed up, and doing the wrong thing. So if Robin was out and you doing your thing when you 18, 19 years old, you having unprotected sex, and that's how you got wound up with dating and a husband, why are you coming down on your daughters when they're 23, 24 years old and they asking to go to church and they're excited about going to church? What are you doing? Or it's a terrible thing that Janelle and Christine are sitting on a bar stool drinking. Oh, I can't believe they did that. Like, there's something wrong with them. They're 50 years old. They got 12 kids between the two of them. Two of them have a divorced baby mama, a baby daddy drama who owes them tons of money. And yeah, they deserve to have a drink. And so if they want to sit there and drink, let them drink. They grown ass
More than
women.
one drink, girl. They need more than one.
Right.
But, I mean, like, I'm not judging them based on that because God knows when I was 16, 17, I was and which is how I told my kids, I know the tricks because I was the worst one in my family. I'd sneak out, go to the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a system. I went with my older friends and two in front, two in the back, me in the middle. By the time they got to me, they didn't ID me anymore. So I just slid right on through.
Right.
I mean, so I wouldn't judge anybody.
Right.
I just told my kids when they tried to do it, I've been there, done that. So, I'm watching you. But like, the religion thing just kills me because it's like, you clearly don't even know what church they're going to, what they're being taught. So don't act like you have an interest. That just kills me. It's such a hypocritical thing. It's like, do they have to join the church to get baptized? That's not
Right.
what being baptized has nothing to do with joining a church. That is something very, I mean, like maybe he needs to take that Bible he likes to thump around and actually read the scriptures.
Right. Right.
Because
Well,
I'd
I
be the,
mean,
I mean, like, you know,
you are joining that faith. There, you are joining that faith. But at the same time, it's a little weird
faith.
to me that it calls into question. The only thing that really makes me kind of what is when they said that he could participate in the baptism. And
Never looked up.
ironically, I haven't seen, and this is the presentation of the show. So if he's done it, then shame on y'all for not showing it. But I haven't seen where he's actually going to any of the services. So you have nothing to do with this church. You have nothing to do with this faith. You have nothing to do with this particular take on religion, but you're going to be there initiating people into the faith. You're going to
Yeah.
play a critical role in it. Like if I'm a Catholic, I was raised a Catholic. I couldn't go to an evangelical church or a Southern Baptist church and think I'm gonna crawl into the well in the pool area and start dunking people. You know what I mean? There's no pastor in
No.
the world that's gonna let me do that. Like you're not even part of our church. Forget the congregation. You're not part of our faith. So you're not no. And it like even with the concept, not to get too crazy, but the concept of like in certain circles you talk about laying hands on people, and evil spirits passing between touch and that kind of thing. So there are some churches which are very particular about you putting your hands on folks in that kind of way and then dunking them and because they don't know what you're about. I don't know what faith who you worshiping. So when you indoctrinate and pulling me into a faith, you could be putting me in the wrong lineup. So no,
Exactly.
you know,
Shoot. Look, I ran across one time and my happy ass ran right back out when I was a kid because I told my mom about it. Like I said, y'all know I grew up in the South and went to a church. Little church bus come because I loved church. We had moved. Went to one, and all of a sudden they start pulling out snakes, doing a damn dancing. Like what the hell?
yeah, the faith heals.
Like the hell you say?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And then had the nerve to come back and bang on the door the next Sunday. He's like, I'm not going there. Like, I mean, but in their religion, I mean, like they really believe that their faith was strong enough
To protect them
that they
from the
wouldn't
snakes.
get bit by that.
Right. Well,
And
my
this,
faith
I
is
mean, like
different.
we're talking about in Memphis, Tennessee, where it was like, yeah, not up in the Appalachian Hills. This was like out on a
Right.
country road. I'm like, oh hell no.
Yeah, my faith is different. In my faith, you don't put God, you don't test God. Like,
No.
you don't put yourself in bad situations. Save me, Jesus. Like that's not what happens. Like you don't do that.
God says have a little common sense.
Right.
I'm like, okay, dumbass, you want to walk out there and in front of a car and see if you play chicken with a bus?
Right.
Guess
So you
what?
want me to elevate you like levitate you 5 feet off the ground and save your life? No, I gave you
No.
enough sense already not to put yourself in that situation. That was my way of stopping it from happening. That's
Yeah,
my faith, though.
most of my friends are Catholic because I'm up in a
Mm,
really highly Catholic area.
right.
I mean, and that kind of explains some things. Like, I mean, not to be rude to people when I see the ash on Ash Wednesday. Like,
Right.
I don't go up and say, you got some on your head.
Right. You got a
You
little
know,
smudge.
you got a little smudge there.
Right.
Yeah, but trying to understand their faith.
Right.
Like, because it's not mine and they try to understand mine. Like, but nope, we're not playing chicken with God. God gonna say, "Pow!
Right.
Sit your ass down." And I don't want to be 10 feet under looking up going, Like, I still want my crooked halo and my singed wings. So, much respect for the Catholic people that I've met here. They are wonderful. My aunt's Catholic, I'm fixing a hush because, I tend to go, but best service I went to was actually a Catholic service years ago. She
Mm.
was secretary of the church, and we met the priest, who was a younger gentleman. And like my other aunt, who was raised super Southern Baptist, like, you ride a motorcycle? And he's like, yeah, I ride a motorcycle and wear underwear too. I mean, yes, I'm a priest. Yeah,
Right.
like that doesn't make me not human. But I mean, like, I loved him after that because he was a younger guy, but he approached it with a sense of humor, so that she could relate a little better to him.
Right. Right.
So even with bad things, like, I try to. Some people get mad at me, but everything I do is I try to do with a little bit of humor. Life is tragic enough,
Mm-hmm.
but if you can wake up each day and to make one person laugh, make them smile, brighten their day just a tiny touch, just do it.
Right. Right.
Even at your own expense. I mean, like, good Lord, look at my poor hair. I mean, I'm willing to put myself out there. I need a haircut. But I love you. I told you I wouldn't keep you on forever, and here I done kept you, baby. And I know you got to go to bed. It's 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's late, but that's all right. We're having a good time. But I appreciate you
I,
calling
I
back in.
appreciate you. I appreciate everything you
Saw
do.
you earlier. Thank you for rocking out with us.
Oh, girl, you know it. Well, I'm gonna be rocking and rolling, but by the time I
That's
get
right.
up, I'll be rocking and creaking. But
Right, right. Well, like I said, getting old ain't for the weak. You gotta be
girl,
strong to play in
but
this
everybody talking
game.
about them bars. I do need to get a hold of me some older ladies and take them and show them, like, have a chocolate cake shot. That's the one they should have had. That would have knocked her on her butt and tastes good. I don't know if you've ever had one, but it's vodka, frangelica, and a lemon rolled in sugar. Do that
Uh,
shot of vodka, do the shot of frangelica, bite down on that lemon, and I swear to you, it tastes like you're eating a slice of chocolate cake.
uh. And
Oh, that
then
was real good bartending. Have them ladies come up. I want something frou, but I'm not sure what. Like, I got you, girl. That, or like, because they wouldn't order a lizard dick. It's like, I need one of them drinks. Like,
right,
what? Because we made up our own drinks as bartenders. So we did a lizard dick, which is literally apple pucker and juices, and just named it something funny.
right,
Well,
right.
it was apple pucker, vodka, and juice, but it hit you and still be frou.
There you
Just to put a little umbrella in it.
go. Right, right.
Well, you have a good night. I didn't mean to get off the side topic, baby. And I'm looking forward to, I hope you do more lives during the week. Even
Yeah,
when you cover other topics would be awesome.
yeah. I think I'm
That I
gonna
would
move that way.
love for you to do, which, other topics that are maybe a little more edgy. That,
Right.
because I promise you, most of us would love to have it and get your take on it.
Hey, but keep your eyes open. So make sure you
Girl,
subscribe. That's excellent. Tune in.
I'll
But
be
thanks so
watching.
much.
Love you, baby.
Have a good
Good
night.
night, folks.
All right. Have good sleeps. Have good sleeps. There you go. That's how you know it's over. Have good sleeps. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some stuff. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. I got one more super chat that I want to make sure I give acknowledgement to. We have Brenda Allegranzi, $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Brenda. I appreciate it. Super sticker. Okay. Thank you so much, Brenda. Let me give you guys a little something, something. I don't know if I gave everybody something, something last time, but we're going to give Brenda a little something, something. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys' support. And I know this is a little crazy hanging out with a player right after the show, but I appreciate it. Hopefully, you guys are able to get through some of the stress. We're going to decompress, de-stress, and we're going to try to help each other get through this tough time of dealing with this foolishness on Sister Wives. But tomorrow, guys, I'll be back again doing another live with Sarah from Reality Squad at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be right back here on YouTube. We're going to have a great time. We're going to talk about tonight's episode. We'll probably get Sarah's take, hear what she has to say. We'll joke, we'll laugh, we'll have a good time. It'll be fun. Keep an eye out. Like I said with Betty, she's kind of tapped in because earlier I did a live and I'm kind of leaning towards doing more of the lives. So I'm probably going to be throwing more lives during the course of the week. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We had a live earlier today. It was a lot of fun. But because of the way the system worked between YouTube and everything else, it didn't notify people until like almost like the last minute. So if you're subscribed to the channel, you ring the bell for notifications, you'll be notified when I go live, and we have a blast. But before I go, I want to make sure that I give a huge shout out to my mega mods. Omega mod, I have OG mod hanging in there, hanging tough with me. Got Lizzie B. Lizzie B holds me down. She I go live. Lizzie B is right there, posting, dropping stuff, keeping the chat up to speed. I'm telling you, amazing, amazing, amazing. Then we have Brittany, not Brittany, holding it down the fort as well. We have Carmel Cuties coming through. Also both of them gave excellent phone calls tonight, excellent contributions, so I appreciate it. Also talking about contributions as far as the calls were awesome tonight, so big shout out to the people who called, and a huge shout out to the audience, everybody who watched, all the people in the chat who hold me down every week and bring not only humor, kindness, and compassion to one another, but they bring the information, and in many cases they bring the receipts, because that's what we do up this way. We bring them receipts. We like the any one of the warehouse stores. When you get ready to come through here, you better have your receipt ready, because we are checking them. All right. So I appreciate everybody holding me down. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Make sure you hit that like button, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, share it if you like. That'd be cool too. I will not be opposed. But thank you guys for hanging out with a player. That's my take. I'm James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Don't pull right down the side, piece, yeah.